walls are caving in, can't breathe now. Losing my sanity, I'm calling, shouting out your name, calling. Is this really what I think it is? Am I really the one you need? Desperate times running around, chasing each other down. Is this really what I think it is? Your silhouette out of the corner of my eye, out of the corner of my eye. Your silhouette out of the corner of my eye, out of the corner of my eye. Is this really what I think it is? Am I really the one you need? Desperate times running around, chasing each other down. Is this really what I think it is? Is this really what I think it is? Am I really the one you need? Desperate times running around, chasing each other down. Is this really what I think it is?
Dance all night in the moonlit sky. When the sun comes up, it's our last goodbye. Won't let go, I don't wanna leave paradise. You make everything feel alright. You bring every piece of me to life. When we're looking eyes, I lose my mind, my mind. Amnesia, amnesia. Crash like waves playing in the sand. Live life hard, never looking back. Life's too short in the promised land, promised land. You make everything feel alright. You bring every piece of me to life. When we're looking eyes, I lose my mind, my mind. Amnesia. la manera que revientas la conciencia, qué demencia, que domina tu inteligencia cuando bailas, cuando danzas. El tío me encontré en casa y tú me tienes bien loco. Dime cómo tú me atrapas, ¿qué me pasa? No me hagas preguntas que no quiero decir. No me hagas acordar que no quiero sentir. No me hagas preguntas que no quiero decir. No quiero mentir, que te quiero sentir.
Con fuerza, con ganas, con estilo, es como vivo. Tienes que venir conmigo y yo voy contigo, mi reina y Nino. I don't wanna fight with too much alive. Te daré mi alma con todo que hay, y con todo que hay. Come here and live by my side. Te siento,
Me tocas,
tu novio,
tu novia,
tus ojos,
tus labios,
te beso.
te amo.
Ven aquí,
Yo te quiero más.
nunca te miento.
Donde tú estás,
Poquito el tiempo. Tú y yo, más nada, tú y yo, nada hace falta.
No me hagas preguntas que no quiero decir. No me hagas acordar que no quiero sentir. No me hagas preguntas que no quiero decir. No quiero mentir, que te quiero sentir.
quiero sentir.
All right now, for all you gamers out there in the big city, all you street people with an eye for the action, I've been asked to relay a request from the FACEIT Riffs. It's a special for the legends. That's the real live bunch in Twickenham, and I do mean the legends. Here's a hit with them in mind.
Oh, here we go again now. Earthquake, throw me to the ground now. Oh, falling in your arms again. Oh, catch me if you can now. I wanna show you everything right from the start. Just don't break my heart. Here we go again now. Earthquakes, throw me to the ground now.
made me to my own device. I never had to compromise. The city is like a jungle, gotta make it mine. Put my fears right out of sight. Beat the hustle, better get it right. In a game where the strong survive. Only the strong survive. Your chains will not hold me down. The break and fall to the ground. Can't tame these lions inside. The power is raining like thunder ready for a fight. Can't tame these lions inside. It's ground that they're walking, ain't cutting through their skin. They're hunting down their prey through the bitter end. The ground that they're walking ain't cutting through their skin. They're hunting down their prey. Let the games begin.
It's another day in the office for the FACEIT Major. We are live from London, from Twickenham Stadium, as we bring you the Legends stage, the top 16 of the Major, 16 of the world's best, and truly the world, the global elite of global offensive. We're going to be talking all about how it's going down so far. It's a Swiss system, therefore you get 3 wins, you're in, and you get 3 losses, you're out. If you go 0-3 as well, you'll be battling through the minor stages. Doesn't matter how you got here initially. If you don't pick up a win, you are not guaranteed. That's new. And you know what else is new? Is this hashtag. It's hashtag FACEIT Major. Super easy to get involved and join the conversation amongst everyone else that's watching and enjoying the Counter-Strike. And I have 2 people I've been watching the Counter-Strike with at least yesterday, and it was a wild ride. We have Sean Gers and Bjorn Threatpurse. Gentlemen, okay, I don't know where to start. Sean, just to say, yesterday was wild in terms of unpredictability, good Counter-Strike, and everything in between.
Yeah, and I mean, proving it, our first matchup today is against Big and Tyloo. They took down FaZe and MIBR, respectively. So that alone is incredible and says a lot, right?
Is this just testament to how close Counter-Strike is these days? I
mean, it's quite surprising that we have Big Tyloo and it's in the 1-0 game. If you would have asked me before this, I probably would have predicted it in the 0-1 game. And it's... yeah, and especially the 0-1 games today are absolutely insane. Yeah,
I might want to recap those games. Of course, you have been staring at them if you've been waiting for the broadcast to start, but we should bring them up again because there is so much to be said. Pulling on the thread that Bjorn has already started, yes, Big and Tyloo, both of which had spectacular games against those MIBR and FaZe, respectively. Big, of course, just completely dismantled FaZe on Dust 2. A lot of people surprised to even see it go to that map, Sean.
Yeah, Big is known for having a super strong Dust 2, so the fact that FaZe allowed the Best of 1 to go to that map was a little bit shocking to most people, but they have the skill to back it up. I mean, it's not like they're slouches on Dust 2 themselves. They defeated Big on Dust 2 actually in Cologne.
Yeah, and I mean, there was that game of right at the start of the day yesterday, G2 versus Hellraisers. That could have gone either way. We didn't necessarily get the answers we were looking for, right, Bjorn? We still don't know what G2 and what Hellraisers we saw yesterday.
Yeah, and I actually want to talk about the Dust 2 games yesterday. It's quite surprising that we saw strong CT side. The G2 Hellraisers game, I think it was 10-5 to the CT side, and it was the same in the big game. So a lot of surprises there. We've seen, especially in DreamHack Stockholm, we saw that a lot of the CT side struggled with fast long pushes, but it seems like a lot of the teams have been able to handle that here.
Yeah, and I mean, I keep saying it's unpredictable, and of course I poke you guys for predictions every single time before we jump into games, so it's the most important graphic of the entire event. We have an update of talent predictions.
Yikes.
Now, oh, that feels good. I'm guessing that's me. Hang on, take it in. Henry, and so that's me, Anders, and DDK. Except Dan looks like he's got like 6 children and he's a graphic designer.
And Henry,
James, Jason with his... oh, he's got shiny... oh, he's got shine.
Oh, is that what that is? It looked like he had black hair. I was super confused.
I'm going to go for shine. And then that must be the rest of us. We got... no, who is that?
That's Matt.
Look at Chad.
Chad.
Why does Chad look like he's see? Maybe that's just because he saw his percentage. Maybe they have...
Chad looks like he has 37%, correct?
Yeah, he does. He does. Fantastic. Okay, well, I mean, I'm rocking 75%, so every prediction I make is clearly gospel, apart from my first... what did I mess up?
We don't remember. It doesn't even matter.
No, it doesn't, because predictions
What
don't
did Chad mess up?
Evidently everything.
Apparently, what didn't he mess up?
Yeah. We'll be talking to him later when we get Mr. Sponge on. But we should just try and stay on topic, and I want to make sure that we are ready to talk about this game in its full and its justified entirety. Big Clan. Let's start with this conversation, because we've already highlighted it was a spectacular performance over on Dust 2, but the question is how will they fare in this complete contrast from their previous opponent, Sean?
I think they're looking really strong, actually, after that first match. Smooya came up huge. Next, one of the players that we thought needed to shine, he had a terrible first half, started off 2-10, comes out the pistol round in the second half, gets an ace. That's shocking for a player like Nex, who usually finds himself in a hole that he can't dig himself out of. And obviously, we know that Tapson is just going to always perform for this team. Gob bring out new strategies.
Gob's fragging.
Tizian's actually making quite a few plays. He's doing that weird duck peek thing that you said he practices, and yeah, I mean, they're firing on all cylinders right now.
This was a team that we said only really works when 3 players have to have quote-unquote uncharacteristic performances. They have to play above the level by which they slip to, and they have done it in Cologne, and they did do it yesterday, and it's just a question of replicating that. How realistic is that?
I think they will be able to go 2-0 in this game. I think their map pool fits Tyloo's really well, especially considering Mirage is their perma veto.
Yeah, that's a nice easy one, isn't it? Another easy one is that this is brought to you by DreamTeam.gg. These rosters are brought to you, and of course the opponent for Big is none other than Tyloo. Now this is a conundrum. Let me tell you the story of Tyloo, and at least these guys will help me. They go to the challenger stage and manage to do what no team has done before from their region. They write history, they qualify for the top 16, and then win a game. They're coming back. We will see more from this Chinese and Indonesian roster, and I'm just damn excited to see the ceiling by which they can reach. We haven't seen it yet, I don't think.
No, I definitely don't think we've seen their ceiling yet, because their T sides are still lacking. You can tell there's communication lapses here and there. But their CT sides, when they can just free flow and play off of each other and use their aggression and aim, that's when they truly shine, in my opinion. But I mean, look at some of these incredible clips they have. They're just finding themselves like between a bunch of utility that these top tier opponents are throwing, and they're in really weird off angles getting multi-frags.
Yeah, no, actually, I would almost say that Tyloo is one of the top 5 most individual skilled teams in the world right now. Because they're not really that good tactically. I think they're one of the more unpredictable teams together with the Vega Squadron. But somehow they just make it work. We have X-Accurate and Bientet. I don't know, how do you pronounce?
We've been calling him Bentet and X-Curate, but that's...
X-Curate,
Bentet,
yeah.
It is a bit of a mouthful for sure, but somebody as well has been... God, that name always makes me sound like a silly sausage. Somebody's been great. Who, Alex? He has. He's been truly influential and has been making a lot of those kind of make or break plays for Tyloo. But that's an interesting statement, that you consider Tyloo to individually, purely mechanically, be up there with the best.
I mean, yeah, I do it. You can see it at the big tournaments the last few months. They've always come like quite far.
They
go to the
always get
playoffs.
16-14 knocked out, and it's always
Yeah,
close.
exactly. So maybe if they should just get a new coach. Maybe they just need more experience. I don't know, but they have so much potential in that lineup.
Yeah. Let's not forget they had that little experiment with Bondic at times. I saw them playing. I saw Bondic and Captain Mo playing pool. I was like, oh,
really?
Yeah,
that's
like
kind of cute.
Like
actually.
a reunion.
Yeah.
Actually, no, it was Captain Mo and it was Bentet as well. I think he was once again being the translator and player. But let's talk about that head-to-head. It's brought to you by The Predator, which is in cinemas September 14th. We put X-Curate versus Smooya. I like this one a lot, Sean. There's a lot of interesting things to pull on here.
I do. These are both the star players from yesterday's game. Smooya came up huge time and time again on Dust 2 against FaZe, spamming people through the mid doors, winning 1 versus 3s. He dominated Guardian yesterday, but the same could be said for X-Curate, actually. He started off very slow. Fallen had the best of him in that first half, I'm not going to lie, but he came up huge time and time again on their CT half of that Inferno game, so I think a lot of the weight is going to lie on both of these guys' shoulders today, especially considering the maps that this is probably going to land on.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think it really depends on which map they're going to play. If they would play a map like Overpass, I think both of these players would have a huge impact, but I actually think we might be going for a train, so maybe not that big of an off map.
Yeah, okay. So we'll start the Vita conversation in just a moment. I mean, how much do you think it plays in when you see a team have a really bad map as well? Like, I want to gauge, because we've seen Inferno. Inferno is almost exclusively what we've seen from Tyloo succeed on, right? They've got close on other maps, but it's just Inferno. When you're Big Clan, do you not just think, right, well, we like to do our preparation. We've got 4 demos from this event of this map. Surely you just got B and you just try and pull them apart on Inferno. Surely that's the route you take.
But you can only anti-strats so much exactly, because they can just adapt in game. So would just be an unnecessary risk. If you're playing Tyloo today, you should just veto Inferno and Mirage immediately.
And just see what they can do elsewhere. Because I'm trying to remember, I was looking down while I was speaking. I think it was just Overpass.
They played NIP on Train
Spirit
as well.
And Train.
So
okay, so we've
there
seen
is footage of Tyloo on those maps.
Yeah.
I think they had like 45% win rate on Train the last 3 months. So I think we might be going to Train.
Train would be a nice comfort pick for Tyloo after their real home maps are taken away from them. At least that's the assumption. We'll jump into that veto and see where this one goes. So bye-bye Nuke, that's not going to surprise anyone.
Tyloo also is going to have to veto Dust 2 here, because that's obviously a really strong map for Big. And ultimately, the way this veto is going to pan out is a lot like how Bjorn was saying, that it's going to come down to Big's decision whether they want to play, Train or Overpass. Like, they control the vetoes, kind of, because Tyloo is forced to ban the maps that Big are really, really strong at that they don't play.
I actually think Tyloo might ban Overpass, and we're going to see Big.
Yeah, so actually, I misspoke. Tyloo gets to ban one of the two, Train or Overpass. And
right,
likely.
So they'll be choosing the map.
Yeah.
So let's have a look. Mirage gone, now they'll take Cash away. They've just basically hamstrung Tyloo, taking away their 2 best maps.
And that's going to be Inferno, yeah.
Yeah, the last conversation piece, and there you go. Gobby and Kakafu, who was the coach and game leader, are going to be taking it to Train. Tyloo is going to be happy with that one. I mean, you called it, Bjorn. I mean, what was it, a 40%-ish win rate? In fact, actually, it's up on the screen, so you can see online and offline, there is somewhat of a discrepancy, but so there is also in their opponents as well.
Yeah, and Big did lose Train to Vega Squadron in the Challenger. You have to remember that, but it was in overtime.
Oh, that was actually a really good game.
And it was a game that they kind of let slip out of their fingers. The chop around, that had the 4K flanking team main. I mean, Vega came up huge with a lot of crazy plays, but Tyloo plays that same game style, so maybe Big is going to run into some problems here.
Okay, here's something wild and wacky. Would you not say that Tyloo's rather limited communication style of T-sides might work quite well on a map like Train when it comes to T-sides? You can kind of get away with your, fake here, go here, one person lurk, IV, 4 people run down ramp with a smoke. I mean, this is kind of Tyloo's ball game.
Yeah, Train is a very default heavy map if you compare it to, like, let's say Inferno. So it really fits a team like Tyloo, because as you say, you can just play the default every single round. You try to go for picks in alley, you try for picks inside. There's nothing really you can do to stop that. It's just how well you execute that default. And if I know Gobby, I think it's going to be very prepared for their default.
Yeah, and I'm afraid, gentlemen, it's that time. I know the percentages are already on the line. Jason,
hey guys,
you need to catch up. I thought me and you were on par until what seemed to be the last prediction of the evening yesterday.
What was the last prediction?
Did you not see the percentages, Jason?
I don't know, like 62? Are you top 3 for the first time in your life?
I'm 75%, yeah.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
That's good. It's a long major, Alex.
It's all right, Jason. You'll get to the top.
Listen, I've gone for some home runs today, so I'm going to catch up. It's fine.
Okay, so give us the easy, obvious one then.
I'm taking Big. In my heart, I do kind of like Tyloo winning things, but I'm done underestimating Big, and I'm going to give them some props here. I think they're going to take this one.
Yeah. Anders, is a similar sentiment from you?
Yeah, it's going to have to be. I just think that the style that Tyloo has been playing
someone's going to counter it eventually, right?
Right. It might still be just a little bit shallow, and I think, yeah, like I just think Gobby is going to be smart enough to read it. So
yeah, fingers crossed. Big's individuals are not getting too shaken up. And gentlemen, my individuals, what are you saying, Bjorn?
I think it's going to be Big.
Okay, no love for Tyloo today.
All these copycats.
Jason, I gave you the privilege of going first.
And I abused it.
And you abused it. Okay, another for Big. You were explaining it before Jason rudely interrupted. Sorry about that.
Well, I just don't see them winning on Train.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Yeah, if they played Cash or Mirage or another map, I could see Tyloo winning, but it's just no way on Train.
Okay, it's all Big so far. Sean, you want to break the mold?
Nope, I'm going to also go Big here.
Yeah.
They looked so strong when they played Train previously.
I think that win versus FaZe has convinced a lot of people.
Yeah, and it's going to be hard to communicate if you're Tyloo on these fast outside rushes that Big likes to do, so I have to go Big.
Yeah, I think I'm going to jump in as well, going Big to go 2-0 and be 1 away from the top 8. That is reality, yes. The bear claw, paw, whatever you want to call it. Gentlemen, Anders, my bear. I'll let you guys have this one. Take it away.
He's mine.
Oh man, I did once dress up in a bear suit for a graduation thing.
What am I supposed to do with that information?
I don't know.
What am I supposed to do?
Hopefully there are no pictures, but it's a long time ago.
Yeah. I mean, this is going to be one way to wake up in the morning. This is going to be a wild ride. I think that's the big point that's going to be tough for Tyloo to get around is communicating in these outer train yards where we see teams all speaking one language really struggle at times to be able to fill gaps when teammates go down and kind of understand what's missing in the defense.
Yeah.
Even when you're attacking, even when you're defending on either one of these bomb sites, it's so easy to lose track of which lane a terrorist is going to be pushing or someone on the offense or, you know, a CT is retaking from. So that's going to be the big struggle, and I think once communication breaks down, everything just gets so much more difficult.
Yeah, definitely a bit of a challenge here for the Tyloo team. You guys have been voting over at upcomer.com, and if you haven't, you should go and do it so that we can, you know, get a sense for what you guys think about the whole thing. So, I mean, I do expect
I think there's going to be a lot of Tyloo. I would expect Tyloo to be more.
You think so?
I think Tyloo has a lot of, like, fans out there because they're so... Okay, I was completely wrong.
Yeah, I think Big have been winning a lot of hearts.
Yeah, they do have
a
very solid, especially the Germans. Germans are loving it.
It's this idea of, like, you know, starting your own project and then sort of building it, and you know, you start to get the support for it, and it seems to be working. It's a really cool story.
A lot of these regional teams have some cool things going on. I mean, it'll be interesting to see how it goes long term. You know, when you have to start changing players, are you going to stay within Germany and continue that project? I know they have, you know, obviously Smooya, the one UK player, but you know,
I want them to sort of. I don't mind that they have Smooya. That's great. They can swap in players if they feel like it. But I kind of do want it to stay a German thing because German Counter-Strike and Global Offensive has just been so miserable for such a long time, and it's a real shame because there is no good reason why it has to be like that.
It was kind of miserable at the end of 1.6 though. I know they had like the teams at the beginning. The mouse sports teams at the beginning were always really cool with like Blizzard and Gore and everything like that. But later on, I feel like that dropped off as well. So yeah, a little bit of a resurgence here for something to root for the Germans. It was crazy in Cologne when they made it to the finals as well. We would leave the venue and there'd be like traffic jams of cars honking and big fans like running around on the sidewalks. It was a whole thing.
It's awesome. I think we need more of that. We need more German Counter-Strike to be up and running once again. Here it is, Big on the CT side and Tyloo on the T side. They've already purchased a couple of smokes, which I feel like pistols on the T side on train. Usually you invest into some sort of utility.
Here's another area where I think Big might just be able to abuse Tyloo is the amount of times that we've seen Gabi push in towards Team A in some of their matches on train. Next just does it right now in the first 15 seconds of the round. So already a decent amount of information. It isn't clear all the way back, so theoretically they could be lining up for a set piece outside. But if you're just going to keep grabbing a little bit of information here and there, it's going to be tough. Gabi, he almost got caught, but I think he spotted the legs. There's the flashbang. Can't land any shots. Tizian is playing far back, and he was a great defender in the challenger stage at the center bomb site. Look at these planned flashbangs to get his teammates out.
Yeah, and maybe even to stop the rush that was coming up the sidewalk. Somebody going to be taking down Tabson. That's a strong start once the bomb is down and Captain Mo will chime in, but Tizian with 2 in return. And he was really an impactful player the last time we saw Big play as well. DD trying to hold on to this front line of the defense in the retake, and Tizian goes down.
Oh, no.
He should have had that kill. I don't know how DD is still living. He's just dancing and dodging all the bullets. Finally, he's going to get taken out. A bit of a great flank coming in as Nex instantly tabs out Execute. That leaves Bented up top with a P250, already defusing the bomb. 3 more seconds, and he's going to stop that from happening. But the turnaround, picking up the kit, and it's going to be close, but I think he'll just have it. So a little bit scary towards the end, but it will be a round 1 for Big, and that could have gone horribly wrong.
Yeah, good effort from Bentet sliding along that wall just so the diffuser is the only one able to be visible. DD somehow survives for so very long, but you can see Big is just prepared. They've experienced all of this before. All that aggression, the flashbangs through the smoke, and a nice shot from Nex right at the end.
Got Big keeping it cool.
Yeah, once he misses 9 bullets, he's like, all right, let's calm it down a little bit.
Yeah, got a couple of shots left to see what happens.
Listen, I woke up on the wrong side of the bed today. It's been a slow start for me. Maybe some of these players feeling the same thing going on.
We'll allow for it, Moses. We'll get you, well, you already have a coffee. It'll be fine. It'll all be fine.
You'd like to think that. It's going to be a 3rd round buy coming in, so obviously just the pistols. Gabi knows that angle, even with the smoke from the HE grenade. Nice cover from Smooya as well, allowing Gabi to fall back. This has allowed Execute to move into a sneaky little position, but he's just got a Glock, and we all know about Glocks.
We've seen them work once or twice, but generally not the equipment of choice. Execute is Managed to sneak all the way in. Could give Nex a hard attack here.
Knife.
Oh, he's going to actually do it as well. That's so ridiculous. Oh, man. Nex is not going to be happy.
How, in the most exposed portion of the yard, I don't know how he got in a position to get that knife, but now with an M4 in his hands, I mean, obviously, there's not a great chance of him winning. I think the tough part is Gobby cannot be aggressive.
Oh. What a sneaky bastard. He's
clever girl.
He's actually just throwing away the M4. He knows there's no way he can save it. So they're going to be so upset. Yeah, they're sort of thinking, yeah, I'm going to pick up this M4, but I'm not.
What a god.
That is genius.
Yeah, I was in my head. I was saying, oh, he can get a couple more guns down, force some rebuys with that M4, and he just doesn't even take the risk. Very, very cool.
That was the one M4 they had.
I was going to say, it's very important for this round as well, where they're going to buy those AK-47s, reinvesting into the M4. I think Gabi had to buy that and drop it over. Nex couldn't afford it and get armor and nades. So, yeah, clever little piece of gameplay there.
We love to see it. Third round now coming into it, and not a bad buy at all for Tyloo. They're going to be pretty well equipped, maybe lacking in some of the smokes. That does prevent really deep fakes where you sort of throw one set of smoke and then you recommit later on. You can't really do that when you only have two of them. But they do have some Molotovs to follow it up as well. Grenade landing on a couple of players. There's Nex taking down one kill, but three people keep peeking Goppy all at the same time, and he had the wrong rifle out as well. So instantly down Smooya, and that's a great infiltration coming in from Nex, who's hitting some good shots there. That might actually almost shut down all of it here. It's a 2-on-3, and Xcurate very worried, and for good reason, about what's happening in Pop Dog at the moment. Gonna go for the recommit, and that's a great headshot, taking down Tizian. Very smart read from him. Now Tabson, can he get anyone killed? He's long range with that MP9, and the bomb has been picked up, and it's now being evacuated into the B bomb site. So Tyloo somehow finding a way out of all the chaos.
Yeah, once this settles down, once they find these kills, it gets really, really awkward. Because they have to have the information. It's almost like they have to peek and see exactly where Tyloo's going to go, but that exposes them to all the danger in the world. Great shots from Xcurate. Heard that player flanking in ladder. Tizian goes down. Smooya with an off angle. Captain Mo might just walk right into it. You imagine he would look in this direction as Xcurate is just outside the ladder room, but he's not prepared. He throws the Molotov, puts Smooya on notice. That needed to be a tap. Needed to be a headshot, and Xcurate, he's got Tabson coming down the ladder now. Will he be able to read the position of both of these players?
Oh, it's very difficult, isn't it? He's got a limited shot here. They don't have any grenades to force him out with, but still a lot of angles to cover. He's realizing now time is about it. A bit of a jump there and a little bit of damage, and Xcurate, the bomb not quite being defused yet. He's forced into it, and that's smart play from Big. They knew they had the time to do that maybe a couple of times to tap it to force him out in the open. Good play, good round, and Big going to be up 3-0, surviving a scary round, but you know, they lost the M4 early. They steal 2 AKs in this round, Moses.
It's good upgrades as well. They've kind of recovered in that situation. Nex had a really good round, and it's a shame the smoke is in his face because Xcurate's supposed to be watching for this exact play, but could not get in front of that smoke in time. So Nex really with some round-saving plays there. 3-0. The plant's going to help as with a losing bonus building up. But Big starting to look good, and this is where Tabson has the first AWP on the board. You imagine Smooya, if someone goes down in this round, he's going to buy the AWP as well.
Oh, that's an instant kill. Not allowing for any Deagle shenanigans. They're in team main. Don't want to lose too many rifles here. A good opportunity for the Big side to be building a strong economy. And we all know what happens by now when the CTs on train get that. It does become a problem. I'm interested if Tyloo, I mean, Alex sort of brought this up. What if this is one of the, could be the strength of Tyloo on the T side, right? The fact that they are a little bit crazy. Most of the teams, they keep trying to sort of rerun the same strats, and maybe this time if you throw the right smokes, it'll work. But maybe Tyloo are just gonna amp up the madness, and maybe that can work.
Maybe. The other side of that coin is echoing the sentiments we had from yesterday when we saw them on Inferno against MIBR. Is just not good at handling the AWPs, just getting picked off over and over, and not really having a set plan to be able to neutralize them or at least get a beneficial fight against the Oppers. So you put them on a map like Train where Oppers can reign more supreme than they even do on Inferno, and all of a sudden it gets dicey. And now, like I said, one player goes down in the Big side of things. Smooya drops his rifle over, picks up the AWP himself. So Tyloo's going to have an early test, and Xcurate is going to have an op to duel them with.
Definitely a fun Opera as well to watch.
Bear versus Dragon. Would you pick the Bear?
I doubt that I would if we were, I mean...
What if it's a Bear with the head of Mike Ditka?
don't even know what that means, Moses.
Bless it all.
I'm not going to lie. Oh, that's a lot of aggression early on. Good amount of damage. The grenade won't chase him down, and Tabson thought maybe there was enough confusion close range that he could sneak in that kill. Doesn't happen, and he's going to go down to execute it instead. So really, really good opening frag there for Tyloo, in spite of taking a bit of damage on DD. Fair bit of damage.
That's a really good read from Excurate, not getting distracted by the close-up aggression and trying to help his teammate out, doing your job, watching for the next push. Ooh, another little... Oh, didn't work the way he wanted it to. This is pretty nasty from Smooya, but obviously that smoke going to give away his position. Deep smoke is going to make Tyloo mildly curious about what's happening. And that's interesting, because now Tyloo's going to be forced into a decision. Once that smoke clears, do they want to push up and clear, you know, towards the dumpster, towards all the way out towards Ivy? It's going to really eliminate the fact that they can even send anyone towards Ivy, because they have no idea if there's someone in those far corners to clear out. So Big in this hit doesn't really have to worry about any presence in Ivy.
No, and that's really helpful because they are lacking somebody out here. Smooya, we've seen him great defensive AWPing in the past. Let's see if he can do it one more time. 30 seconds left on the clock here, and Tyloo really slowing it down, which can be very dangerous. Seeing an opportunity and instantly taking down Bentet. Going to fall back off the hot now. Next holding this, and now he's going to hear them running. There is a guy holding up at Zizzy, and that's such an incredible position to be in this particular moment. He's waiting for it now, the bomb. He just managed to see it, and that just might be the round. 2-on-3 here, and DD doesn't really have the health to fight anybody, so just Tizian holding his position, making all the difference in the world. And that's going to be, I don't know, a bit of a gut punch for Tyloo.
It's another one of those really cool ideas that we see on the T side every so often, but it's just so hard to make work because the route you have to run is just so difficult. I'm not sure if they maybe called an audible halfway through or if that was a design fake, but you get those two players wrapping around the bomb train and actually trying to come in through connector, and no one was really sold on it. Somebody does get that one kill, but Snooya was dedicated to rotating inside. He knew what was coming. Next was going up the ladder to flank.
Salon delay as well, throwing the smokes from T-spawn to running that way.
Yeah.
If only Moses somebody had found a way to throw the same smoke from somewhere else. Wouldn't that be something?
That would be something. Someone should get on that. Yeah. You'd probably make a lot of money off that kind of intelligence, Anders.
No, absolutely. It's wasting all of your life. Don't do it. Oh, well, good opening from Smooya. Flick doesn't connect, but he's keeping it occupied. He might be flanked. You know, almost. DD was making, sorry, not DD, somebody was making his way out. And he's actually occupying part of the yard right now, so it's kind of scary right now for Smooya. I don't know if he realizes he needs a little bit of backup, and Goppy's going to be taking down Bentet. He made the jump back, Smooya, so he's back into safety now once again. 5-on-3, and not a good start for Tyloo right now. Somebody getting one good kill, following up and taking down Goppy. He was a really interesting player to watch, somebody in some of the previous games here for the Chinese and Indonesian side, but this time he's going to get shut down, and 2-on-3. They have a minute, though.
Do have a minute, and they have some possibilities. It's these AWPs that worry me. If they can get into the proper position, and that's the nice thing. They've applied enough pressure that it really puts Smooya out of position. He's under a lot of risk here. DD's going to come around the corner, and he handles it perfectly. 2 kills for Smooya. I think this is where Big just really extends this defensive lead. These AWPs are feasting.
Yeah, they're having too much of a good time, and also just the fact that they can keep them alive and don't have to sort of reinvest. Even in one of them is obviously... yeah, it's expensive. So building the economy, building the round lead, and Tyloo lacking in answers. They need a solution to this problem.
Remember, this is what happened yesterday as well against MIBR. They got beat up massively. They got down to a huge, I think it was like 10-1 at some point, or 10-2. It wasn't great at all, and they somehow managed to bring it all the way back in that second half, but I'm not sure if you're going to be able to do that against Big.
It might be trouble, although Moses, me and my 16%ers, we saw it coming.
The homies ride together, die together?
Yeah. Not this time, though. We're off that train. I did quickly, you know, take a look at all the astrological charts and all the rest of it to figure out who's going to win this one, and I feel like I've got a good read today.
Yeah? All right.
Just wait till later, Moses. You saw my prediction.
What is the year on the Chinese calendar?
Year of the dog, I believe, Moses.
Is it the dog?
I don't know. Tizian instantly taken down. Tabson just trying to stay alive with that AWP, down to 24 health. The bomb now making its way out into A. Somehow, and weirdly, they've managed to fake out all the big team. I don't really think it's going to make that big of a difference. They do have a 2-on-4 with a Deagle and a CSET 75, so quite unlikely that you could end up winning this, but let's not rule them out yet. C-set 75 close range. If you can get a couple of kills and fall back in the reload, that would be interesting. Flashbang, and he doesn't pull the trigger, which is good news. Now he can maybe get a flank in. Bentet still has to stay alive. He runs in behind this. One good kill, but Smooya with a nice turnaround. Not bad at all. And Bentet gets the one, but now he's... Yeah, well, either that or he was going to get shot in the back. It almost had to be one or the other. So, an expensive round. Actually, good round for Tyloo, but not enough.
I was going to say, there's not really a chance of them necessarily winning it unless that's easy from Execute. They gotten a couple kills, but the plant doesn't matter because the full losing bonus is there from Tyloo. They're going to be investing no matter what. It's how many kills can they get down the stretch to start limiting this economy and kind of grind it away. Still so much money on this defensive side. Great reaction from Smooya. If he misses that shot, likely he goes down, and then things get interesting from there. 7-0. Decent job getting plants in these 7 rounds. 3 of them have had plants that have been diffused, but it is just the question of these AWPs. How are you going to get close enough? How are you going to neutralize them? Can you put smokes and flashes in their face? Will they miss a couple shots? And Captain Mo going to get down ladder, and this is going to be very fast. He's not going to care about this smoke whatsoever. They're already out in yard, and Smooya, he has a chance as he realizes they're out just yet, but he still gets a pick towards mid. Bentet on top of the ladder. The flick down doesn't work, but DD doesn't realize, and there he is, responding to somebody coming through the smoke. And the bomb is still so far away from the actual site, I don't think the pace is really going to matter all that much to Big at this point.
That's a lot of pressure to be under if you're Smooya. Those are some really good shots to be hitting. I mean, double scope to get that first kill, but falling down off, and Godby's going to be down. DD taking this position almost immediately, and that's a very difficult position for Big to get him out of. He doesn't have a smoke, so maybe if they get a Molotov up there, but Captain Mo holding off. That's one of the Molotovs. The other one is on Tizian, and he's all the way over by Ivy, so a great hit here for Tyloo.
It's time for a save as well. There's no way they're getting back into this. At speed, it was really awkward with how fast they got into the bomb site and then how far away the bomb was, but just such good position from DD up above. He's able to hold off Godby on that bomb train and really decide everything. They can't lose these weapons, though. If you're Tyloo, you need to keep these 3 players alive, even in a win. It's your first one. You need the money, so here we are, Tyloo coming right through the smokes, and with the emphasis on boosting Smooya up, and actually they even take that one away right at the end. Those are good finds. A very solid round from Tyloo to get on the board. And hopefully they can build upon it, and you see them take an immediate timeout as they want to be able to build these 2 rounds together.
So it turns out...
Our Chinese Zodiac animals.
Yeah.
I'm a tiger.
And I'm an ox.
Yeah, I definitely won that one.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
I do feel like a tiger could probably take down an ox. That's kind of what they do, isn't it?
And tigers are just badass.
They are.
They are kind of like the best of the cats.
I once read some tragic write-up of like some old, I don't know, 30s movie or something where they wanted like a tiger to fight a lion, and they wanted the lion to win, and it turns out the tiger just like they had to spend like quite a few lions to try and make one of them win, because the tigers are just a little bit stronger.
I've got a treat for you, Anders.
Yeah?
James Bardoff is a rat. It's his zodiac animal.
That I could have guessed that. That would have been my. That would have been.
Listen.
Good morning to you, James.
Yeah. Hope you slept well. Hope you have had your tea and cheese.
Listen. I mean, rats carried the Black Plague, didn't they, Moses? They might. I think they've probably killed more people than tigers. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Got to be very careful about that. Now. Mostly a case that 1 AWP, obviously, Tyloo picking up their first round here, and it is the 9th that we're heading into. Execute really, really wants that pick off against Smooya. He's been quite active down here at Ivy, but they don't quite get the angle. That could have been, I think that could have been scary, but he'll live for now. And next, just waiting. Are they teaching each other how to throw these grenades in the middle of it? I always get worried about that. Good Molotov to block off the exit for Nex, and oh, they're going to double grenade him, but he just keeps on spraying, and what a double kill. They were planning to force him forward with the Molotov into the double HE, and he just absolutely said no. Godby instantly down. This is... Oh, so instantly getting the kill with Tizzy in there on Execute. That's an incredible way to begin a round.
That is just a gut punch for Tyloo. As soon as that happens, you're just like, well, round's over. 2 players go down immediately. Bentet trying to hold Smooya in place. He's going to spot the elbow, but Smooya gets it anyways. There's that aggressive pressure on the defense for Big, and Tyloo caught off guard. You like the idea, but Nex is just a beast.
I want to know what kind of, what Zodiac sign Chad is.
Well, I'm sure now that you said that, they're going to tell us any minute.
I feel like that's relevant information to the broadcast.
While we're on the subject, we're not really, of the wild cats, I think the snow leopard is a pretty awesome creature.
Snow leopard, Moses.
Yeah, those are sweet.
No, definitely the best animal has to be a platypus. They're amazing creatures, Moses. Sponge is a snake.
Sponge is a snake. That makes sense as well.
Ah, that's funny.
Yeah.
So, round number 10. And because of that reset, Tyloo, I mean, they managed to get a little bit in here, but they must return to winning right now. Otherwise, Big could run away with this whole first half.
Yeah, this is huge. And all 5 players inside, they've really gone away from any kind of spread default. This nade could do great damage coming in. There's Bentet and Excurate. No armor on Excurate. That is a beautiful piece of utility. They don't even know how good it was. All they have left to do is hit, and because there's no attention, no noise outside, Nex has even cheated his rotation inner. There's the Molotov. They're going to get burned. They're going to get destroyed. DD can't even get out of the flames. He has the kill, but was it worth it? Too much low HP on the rest of these players, and yeah, Tapson able to continually shut people down. Bentet going to be forced out of the bomb site into the open, uses the cover of smoke. They've got a flank coming in this whole time.
How has this ended up in a 2-on-2? This should have been an easy round for Big to be winning.
This is the only option they have, getting aggressive and pushing away from the flank.
Oh, he sees it coming. Excurate down to 5 from 1 HE grenade and somehow landing a triple kill anyway. He's finally going to get that one, but Bentet is right around the corner, and does Goppy realize how close he was? I'm not sure. They're going to pick up the bomb and run back. Only 18 seconds left on the clock, so it's going to be a one-on-one. M4 versus AK, but the health advantage for Goppy means it pretty much doesn't matter, so we'll see how this all plays out. Up on the high ground, he does not have... Well, he's got one flashbang. Bentet could at least be used to force Goppy off of the bomb. And Goppy, if he could pick up any grenades in transit, that would be perfect right now. A smoke, obviously Molotov would be incredible, but right now he's being very slow about it.
He's going to have to make an educated guess of where he thinks Bentet is. He doesn't have time anymore, and since he's walking this whole way, there's not a whole lot of time to fake him out of position. He needs this kill if he's going to get it.
Yeah, and he's going to pick up the AWP instead and just hope to save it, which is going to be possible. I cannot believe that Tyloo won that. That has to be one of the most incredible round turns I've seen, maybe all tournament. I just felt like that was so unlikely that was going to happen.
3 kills from Excurate. Yes, he has the AWP, down to 5 HP right at the start, before he even sees anybody, and he's still able to manage things. This is incredible. That nade, just so much.
Look at what they have. UMP CSET 75. They instantly get grenaded on. They run through the fire, losing 2 to Tizian, so it's immediately a 3-on-5 where one of their players has 5 health.
Yeah, that's so good from Tyloo, and I love the call to just get hyper-aggressive and push down those lanes. It's all they could have done in that scenario. Still a desperate situation, but you sit back and you're just going to get flanked, you're going to get naded, you have your positions covered, and while they still had some utility in play, they utilize it. Here we go with an outer hit. Got B, almost caught with that smoke out. It goes really deep. Molotov, actually a follow-up smoke.
That's 3 smokes now in Pop Dog.
Yeah, that's a bit of a mistake. I'm not sure entirely if one was Tyloo's perhaps, but
yeah, Tyloo put out the fire and then Big threw 2 more on top. So it's definitely smoke, Moses. There's no question.
There is a lot of smoke there. Right at the start, 8-2, and the money is I mean pretty much all gone for Big. 4 players beneath $600. This is a huge round for both teams. You can cripple the opponent. For Tyloo, that means getting back into the game. For Big, it means almost being able to extend this lead to something unreachable.
Yeah, that would be such a turn. And Big would probably, they would maybe still be happy to be at 8 rounds, but it'd be really frustrating knowing that you could have ended the half at 11 or 12 or something ridiculous like that, and suddenly you've let them back in. Flashbang to make it down on the sidewalk. Smooya, that's a nice pick-off crossing in. Excurate is down, but Captain Mo with a good return. And somebody just going to spot if anyone is there. He got the information, and now he's going to put the bomb down. So 4-on-4. Tapson picking up a kill on Bentet. Tizian finding that fight a little bit awkward, ducking into it, but it's going to be just fine now. 2-on-4. And another round that Tyloo should definitely be losing, and this kind of a flank from Tizian. Again, he's doing a very good job overall. 11 kills on him, and that's going to be the round favoring Big, just as they were about to run out of money. You have to feel for Tyloo.
Yeah, you really do. This time they didn't have the AWP in like they did the previous round with Excurate, able to pick off some players And that's the thing. I mean, the big help of that AWP was to like kind of thin this defense and allow them to push up when you don't have that benefit. When you have no AWP pinning down the defenders and preventing those repeaks, it's so difficult to get close. You saw, I think it was it Cat? No, it was can't remember who it was. Somebody maybe who was behind that train and like going up to fight Tizzy, and it's just so awkward when you get caught in the middle of those trains and someone sees you, and then you're just like, well, I can't fall back and I can't go forward. So it's kind of just I have to stand here and take a really, really poor fight for myself.
And if you lose it, the rest of your team that's trying to retake from sidewalk, they're going to get flanked, right? Yep. So you really have to sort of. You're right. It's very awkward. Did work out, and now Tyloo are back to pistol. So the really nice chance that they just had to reset the whole thing, jump from 2 to 4, maybe even 5 rounds. Now it's sort of slipped away a little bit, and I think that might have been the one chance in this first half. I'm not sure if they're going to get another one anytime soon, but we'll find out. Molotov, Captain Mo decides to just run it, and why not?
Well, the rest of the hit is coming towards Ivy, and look at the firepower that's just turned around. tabseN's here, doesn't even take the first shot, sees the second one coming. DD comes right back into it. I think they're just, trading this off back and forth, and one by one they're going to challenge, and somebody's tagged up.
They're going to boost on top, and tabseN, because he's double scoped, man, he could have been dead right then and there, but...
They were pretty deep in Ivy, though. Would that have worked?
I think they could have seen him. I want to say yes.
Okay.
Could be wrong. Often am.
Yeah.
Tell you what, though, Moses, we had a little educational piece on Octopus on Octopi earlier. We'll get another tech timeout at some point. I'll tell you about the platypus and why it's the best animal.
Okay.
But not now. You keep it a secret. Keep the audience waiting. I know they're on the edge of their seat.
Yeah, everyone. I mean,
wanting to hear about the platypus.
Isn't it platypi?
I actually don't know. So already we're off to a great start.
Sick educational seminar.
Round number 13 now. We've got all AKs on the Tyloo side, and I would say kind of limited in the grenades. They got the smokes. I guess that's good, but on train, I feel like you always just want like 2 or 3 Molotovs to clear out all the most likely corners. Got to be a little bit early with that, but he's going to continue on. They will have maybe heard the grenade, but this is hard to expect. I mean, they're even going to be boosting Tizian. This is so mad. Oh, a little bit of a failed spray there from Tizian. That could have probably been done better. I think he was just so giddy that he had like a huge meal in front of him, Moses.
It's like when your name is finally called for the play and you just go up and everything's there for you. That sucks. Tizian, you could have had 3 kills there. Could have had a highlight clip. It's all right, though. Taking out Bentet.
It's not all right.
Big piece. It's not all right?
No, I wanted the highlight.
All right.
I thought that was so creative. I really, they would have been... Obviously, they would have been shut down pretty quickly, but...
Yeah, we'll add them to the code red list, Anders.
More people to beat up. I like it.
When you put it like that, it just sounds so... not good. tabseN on the top of that first train at the inner bomb site. tabseN way far back. These ops still have just been so effective, and yeah...
Speak of the devil.
For whatever reason, DD's still not getting the message that there's going to be an op somewhere and you can't just swing out in that fashion. On the other hand, there's not like they have a whole lot of utility to be able to use in this scenario either way. There's no flashbangs, and tabseN will have no issue handling this. Shooting at the feet, and as I say that, the transfer is a bit awkward. tabseN's here to hold down the fort, though.
They're trying to see if they can run him down. Maybe they only have 20 seconds, so they can't really spend an enormous amount of time doing this, although Captain Mo will get the kill. Molotov not going to be for the bomb plant, so somehow it's a 2-on-2. I don't know how Tyloo keep coming back into these rounds. Oh, Smooya, he gets to live through the barrage. That should have probably been the end of him, and he's going to be patiently waiting and ending the round. That's 11 now.
I thought it was
big.
I thought it was weird that neither of these two players, Smooya or Nex, kind of swung to the other side of that, along that back wall, to really cover that left side of that train for tabseN, because he was almost in an impossible scenario where it just comes down to timing, and obviously it wasn't with him there as somebody flanks around, but had some of the teammates to be able to handle that scenario. Plant's going to help, but not much. 11-2, looking like a huge first half for Big. You like that?
I did.
I'm improving. I'm getting better.
All the time. We've got, we're building up a list of synonyms. It's not bad.
Spent the whole night. That's why I didn't get much sleep. Isn't that the source?
Smooya's at 16-5. That's great news, but I kind of expect it. What's really making me happy at the moment is actually the fact that Nex is, in the game and just doing a good job. It doesn't have to be top frag. I don't really care about that, but just the fact that he's in the game, I think that's going to be important for Big down the stretch of this Legend stage. Smooya handling himself just fine. probably wanted to go for another one, but he thought better of it, managed to control his own madness, and that was good.
I think it's really cool watching Smooya in this team, in his kind of progression within the team, because it feels like Gabi's done a great job of finding ways to allow him to still have the freedom to like go for some plays, but also like rein him in a little bit and be like, listen, you are an opper. We do need some level of consistency of where you're going to be, looking, and what we can rely on. Yeah. And then in these situations, you know, go nuts, go ham. And it is cool seeing him be a measured opper because he's proving he can make the highlight plays, and he can make the standard stuff that you just need oppers to be able to do.
Yeah, nice. Bit of diversity there. Smooya is forced back around the corner and, well...
He wasn't expecting Bentet to get through the flames like that.
No, probably not. And this time Gobi is going to get grenaded on multiple times.
Yeah, that wasn't fun at all for him. 4 HP.
Oh, is Tizzy going to risk it? He kind of almost feels like he was going to try and sneak his way around the corner. Next, now taking up position. This worked last time. There are great pop flashes you can throw for it, but it's kind of hard to know which one you should be throwing.
I think if they want to come back on this, Tizian has to be aggressive when this hit comes in outside. He'll have to deal with DD over the smoke. But him and Nex almost feels like they can work together in some way to eliminate that danger from ladder room.
Tabson could make this quick 4-on-4. It will be a leg shot instead. Still kind of important what happens in Pop Dog right now. Tabson very aggressive and taking one more kill. Next gonna... Oh, actually, not quite yet. Instead, it was the flank coming in. Not bad at all.
Gabi went and picked up Smooya's AWP and Ivy, and he's able to just punish people from afar. That 4 HP does not matter nearly as much, and that is a well-handled round from Big. 12-2, about to be 13.
Yeah, this is incredibly well done. I can't believe they managed to win in that fashion. It looked like they would have maybe been run down. That 4 men coming out of main is kind of hard to stop, but 13-2 in favor of Big is absolutely a great scoreline. Smooya at 18 and Nex at 17, so job well done.
The ops, man, the double op setup came out at the 4th round, and it just never ended. It was well, I think about even been the 5th round, excuse me, but just never went away. Tyloo, not enough things to really stop that, keep the money low. They had him at the breaking point 1 round in the middle portion of that half, and it just didn't really work out. They weren't able to finally do it, and I think that was kind of the death rattle. Tyloo had their chance, though.
Their one chance, so...
Yeah, one chance, which isn't always the best feeling. You really have a small window to hit there to reset that economy.
There's an Eminem song with that theme, isn't there? I mean, not
one
about
chance, one opportunity.
Yeah, that's what
I think that was about Counter-Strike.
You think so?
If I remember correctly.
Well, listen, we'll not talk about that, Moses. 13-2, and moving into round number 16. If you are just joining us, this is the first game of the day, and there are going to be so many more to follow, so you definitely want to stick around. This is a crazy day 2 of the Legend stage, with all of the upsets that were happening yesterday.
This is a massive, not even a rotate, it's like a migration of Tyloo players to this inner bomb site. DD long range, not able to hit the shots, and he gets gooshed back in return. The bomb hasn't made it in yet, and it's just now going to go down.
But Tizian is all the way over it. Ivy, how could he possibly know that everyone's just vacated his side? He's now checking the AR as the bomb is slowly ticking away. And the rest of Big trying to hold on. That's a great flick from Nex, taking down 1 kill, but he needs more, and finally going to be picking up DD. They're being overrun, and Gobi doesn't even make it down the ramp. Execute with some great headshots at the end. Smoke up even after everyone is dead, Moses.
Yeah, well, like, what are you supposed to do? If you're that flanker, you're trying to delay it a little bit long. You don't think the retake is going to come that fast. You think it's going to be a little bit more measured, and Tyloo just swarm. As soon as any indication that it's coming inside, it could have entirely been a fake.
Yeah, definitely could have. Have you ever considered the logic of how difficult it would be to defuse a bomb inside of a smoke, Moses? I mean, you can't see the wires, can you? You know, it'd be very tricky.
I just like to believe they have some technology invented for that. Like you can, you know, like Predator vision. Maybe you can only see wires.
I don't think...
I never said it was a realistic technology.
I don't think you know how technology works at all, Moses. I think you might be confused.
Well, when you base all your technology off of Predator, anything is possible.
We should be getting there. I feel like it's 2018. Like, where's all the cool stuff? Where are the...
What are we missing?
Where are all the hoverboards? Where are the invisibility cloaks? Where's the teleportation?
Don't we have those like people
They're
call them
not
hoverboards,
real.
but they have wheels? It's very strange.
They should never have done that. That's something, like, they should have saved that for when it actually happened. They jumped the gun early. We've made kind of a better, like, more fun version of a skateboard. We'll just call it a hoverboard. Cool.
Yeah, that is a bit silly. False advertising.
Yeah, absolutely.
Smooya, he's very cautious. He's got teammates coming to pair up with him, and right to the face. A crouch. That's like a teabag before you get the kill. And you do love to see it.
Not if you're Tyloo, though. You've had one chance in the first half, and obviously winning that pistol was kind of your second chance.
There's no one actually watching this bomb site. They're smoked off in ladder room. There's 2 players in here, and they're screwed. They can't do anything. They have to come through this smoke, which means somebody will be able to be traded, so they have to wait. And actually, even DD is pushing up.
What?
I don't know how that happened, but there's going to be 3 players in ladder room.
Did somebody bind his mouse 1 to kill in console before this round started? I am so confused. 3 on 4 right now, and big. They've at least got the bomb plant down. Smooya going to get 1 kill there. Still a good chance right now for Tyloo, and a missed shot from Smooya. He's not going to have many more opportunities, and Goppy can't get into position to try and challenge that bomb defuse. So Tyloo will win the round, but, you know, it's not a bad job at all.
What happened to Tizian?
I really don't know. I'd love to find out. I think he must have... It looked like there was a bit of team damage, and then maybe he fell. Oh, okay. He didn't... It was Bentet doing all the damage, and then the last tick. That's not bad at all. What a way to go.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Luckily, it was kind of censored by the smoke, Moses. We didn't get to see the horror of it.
Yeah, we didn't get to see the full gruesome effect of falling 10 feet.
I don't know what feet armor is. Can we use real measurements?
It's the only measurement that matters. Smooya taking 1 shot in middle, and he's going to challenge this, especially in a round like this where he knows they likely won't have an AWP. He's going to be a little bit more bold than we might see later on. Already control of ladder room for Big, and it looks like they are ready to split this bomb site. There's 4 players out here, though. They're going to have a tough time. This is going to be a battle all the way through. Somebody... I think he's going to use a pop flash from his teammate. Nex actually takes the advantage. He just goes out for it. He's blocked off by smoke, but he's actually holding him out here. Here come his teammates. Just 1 guy to help clear out E-Box, and somebody's in an impossible scenario. Great spin from Tapson, but the sheer amount of bodies here for Tyloo is making this outer yard difficult to take.
Yeah, definitely is right now. Accurate flashbang. Luckily for him, nobody's peeking that, but they are in good positions right now. And he wants to commit and flank all the way out. Missed opportunity there. Does reveal Captain Mo's position. Grenade on Smooya. He has no body armor, so if that actually connected, he would have been dead instantly. Good return, and Smooya going to find the perfect opportunity, taking down Captain Mo. It's all on DD, and he cannot give this round up. Tabson with a triple. DD walking right into that one. He's still going to pick up the kill. Maybe should have been the end of him there. He's down to 33, but again, Smooya with no armor on the other side. He's going to fall really quickly, and DD... If he oversteps the line, even by 1 inch here, it's a good chance Smooya could punish him. Pressure is on, though. Only 19 seconds. Eventually, that bomb is going to have to be picked up, and you could tell DD's very worried about where he might be. Just flicking all over the place. 10 seconds now. Smooya running out of time really quickly. If he wants to go for this, it's going to have to be now. And DD, oh, he sees he must have seen the gun barrel there, Smooya. 4 seconds, 3 seconds left and around the corner, and DD's going to win the 1 versus 2, picking up the AWP. That's so close. But not enough.
What a test of nerve for DD just to be able to stand the ground and not overexpose yourself to the op of Smooya. That's a lot of time to have to just sit there and able to do nothing. This is great from Tapson. That response on the Bentet is so quick, and DD obviously the 1 versus 2 critical for Tyloo if they want to make a return in this game. That was a desperate shot in that scenario. I think Smooya's best chance would have been to have dropped the op, traded out for a rifle, and actually get aggressive.
I'm actually kind of impressed by the way that somebody was handling the aggression there at Team Main, because he got the first kill, but I think as he was backing up, he was actually crawling back into cover from Pop Dog.
Yep. And
that's so hard to do with your back turn. I mean, you obviously know where the E-Box is, but if you fail that by, you know, a second, then they had to chase him down behind the E-Box, right? Mm-hmm. They could have killed him from Pop Dog if they'd been there, I don't know, like 1 second earlier.
Well, also, the cool part about it is the fact that he survives as well. It sends 1 person out of ladder room earlier than they wanted to. earlier ahead of the hit, just to be able to, because you have a player from Tyloo in an exposed, you have a defensive player in an exposed position. You want to take that opportunity to get him down. If there had been a Tyloo teammate watching from Bomb Train, that would have been a kill for him, because he's obviously swinging to get that frag at E-Box. He's not really worrying too much about the Bomb Train. Could have been a great chance there. Doesn't happen for Tyloo. This is going to be a fast split. Captain Mo, you realize it now. Can you handle the pressure? There's the angle, holding down the trigger, and oh, you run out of bullets just as that last piece of HP. Good frags coming in. DD up close. That's dangerous. He's got to be careful. Headshot there would spell the end. Next gets one more. Not going to expect the follow-up flank, but great damage from Big, and essentially just a rush outside, a split from Ivy, keeping the money low. Yeah.
You know, a cool variation that's been creeping into the metagame on Train is the idea of throwing that wall of smokes on the A-bomb side, but then leaving one of the smokes out, either on the connector side or on the yard side.
Yep.
And then the idea is obviously that the CTs that are holding there, especially if it's an AWP, right, they're kind of expecting that any minute now that smoke's going to go up, and then you just rush them down from Pop Dog, say, and you know, they were actually counting on some cover being there, and then there's nothing. I kind of like that idea. Doesn't seem like we'll revisit it, and I think Big, they've been closing the yard a couple of times, but maybe they want to try that B-bomb side a little bit again.
They're looking for anything, and there again, we saw Nex. This is a huge play for Big that teams can look out for future in the tournament if they play him on this map. Nex loves being pop flash and just going for duels. There's the op, the opening kill, the follow-up from DD. Oh, he drops down, but they have Bentet here as well. Somehow, Big manages that aggression so much, but Tapson's not expecting that. The insanity of FACEIT.
Yeah.
And even Captain Bo, look at this unending aggression.
This is why people love watching Tyloo play. This is so unexpected. They don't get that kill, unfortunately. That should have probably been it. So now it's all on FACEIT. He has the bomb, and they have a Molotov, and that is incredibly bad news. If they guess that he's going to be here, he's ready and waiting. Going to be creeping out. One good flick, and now Nex on the other side. And FACEIT, he's going to go back for it right in front, and then he gets the quad kill as well, saving Tyloo. The play to walk up the ramp again to get that last kill is just incredible.
What a boss. That is some beautiful gameplay. And I mean, you kind of have to take a risk. I don't know how that wasn't such a clean round for Tyloo. They had a triple stack here, 2 lower ramp, including the op, 1 upper ramp. Not able to clear it out. They had Captain Mo pushing up the ladder, catching 2 players off guard, and still, I feel like that round should have been much, much easier for Tyloo. Such a cool call to not have the results you needed. But either way, who really cares at the end of the day when it's 5-0 for Tyloo coming back into this on this CT side, and actually Nex somehow doesn't get hit by anything. Great tap right onto somebody at the bottom of that ladder, and now the smokes go down. And while Tyloo is worried about clearing out Ivy, so much space has been taken up by Big in the outer yard.
How has Nex done that? They're not rushing for the bomb plant either, but that's not an easy shot to be hitting. Very weird angle when you're pushing in from that corner. Bomb will go down, 4 on 5 here, and remember, Tyloo have lost so many people in the last couple of rounds. They are lacking money heavily right now. DD going to be picking up Tapson, but they can't afford to lose this round. That would leave Big almost certainly at map point, and they're getting kind of shut down here. A 3 on 2 now. The bomb already been ticking for a while, and FACEIT needs an incredibly fast shot, or they need to save what they have right now. See him trying to tap the bomb there. Bentet, 1 versus 3. They actually think he's still inside of the smoke, so they're a little bit paranoid about that. Gobi going to close out the round, and that'll be 14-7.
The unfortunate thing, and this is why you just need sometimes on the T side of Train just to buy yourself a window, maybe one mistake that it buys you, and Tyloo didn't do that. With only 2 rounds in that first half, they're out of money. The most they have is 2,600 on FACEIT, and I think they have to make the decision to save for that last round and just go on some kind of a huge run, and even then it's going to be a sketchy buy to get back on the board. So Big, really all they needed, all those losses that were so close, it didn't really matter, because one of the win conditions when you win a half 13-2 is that you can just grind the economy away. That's exactly what they've done.
Yeah, not a bad job at all, is it? 23 on Nex, 22 on Sumuya. They are still leading the charge right now. FACEIT is at 18 on the other side, which is absolutely mind-blowing considering how far behind they've been. It's not a bad job on him. So, timeout, and the game is going to be resumed in 10 seconds, Moses.
10 seconds for the rest of your life. This is a 1-0 matchup. Big beating FaZe, surprisingly 16-5, and Tyloo beating MIBR, surprisingly, what, that was 16-14?
It was, yeah.
Was it overtime? No, 16-14.
Yeah, it was a crazy game, wasn't it?
It was a bit weird. Tyloo is going to go for the force buy, so Scout on Execute. He's going to get aggressive towards team main. Tizian's already kind of come out ladder, and you only have a CZ, and they're all dead. Everyone outside is gone. Good night, sweet prince.
That was a swift cleanup, wasn't it?
That was very efficient. Very German.
You do like to see it, don't you? Yeah. I mean, we always do say that, but if you've ever actually been to Germany and tried to ride the trains, there's nothing efficient about it.
There's nothing efficient about anything in Germany.
No. It's not great. But it's great in other senses, Moses.
True.
Have you ever been there during Carnival in Cologne?
I haven't, great. But I know like a lot of the other guys have, and I've heard stories.
Yeah, who cares about efficiency when you can have that kind of party?
You can get that a lot of different places, though. It's not exactly a German thing, I think.
No, but the Germans do really well. They have, I mean, there's Oktoberfest as well.
See, I'd much rather do Oktoberfest than Carnival.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess Carnival is. I think it's only in some parts of.
I have a friend that I went to school with when I was younger who lives in Munich, and I always see his pictures and his posts of what exactly Oktoberfest is, and it sounds great. There's that one where you have to like they have that like spinny table.
Yeah.
And you have to stay on it as long as possible, and you've been drinking beer all day, and it just kind of spins, and like you have to hold onto a rope or obstacle. I don't know. Cool stuff. And they have those cool clothes.
We'll go one day, Moses. We'll make it a trip.
All right.
See if we can survive.
Probably not.
No.
Don't they have a rule where you can't ever not have a beer if you're in like Oktoberfest, if you're at like one of like the party areas?
I don't know, but...
And they have those big like steins of like heavy beer.
Yeah. Listen, I'm sure people will be tweeting all of the Oktoberfest rules to us, and, we'll prepare ourselves.
I'm not a beer drinker.
Well... If you go, then there's no choices there.
No, there's really not.
You just got to commit.
You're locked in.
So, I mean, the final stand, and it's kind of it's not a great one, is it? You'd wish that at least the final stand would be double up and all.
And it's an impossible call to make if you're Tyloo, right? Do you save that last round, or do you fight to at least be able to fight for the win? And there's no wrong answer. There's no right answer. Obviously, just a little bit falls flat here. Somebody going to take a massive risk. They've stopped.
How is he alive?
He's very fortunate to be getting away. They spotted him, started shooting, and then he went further up the ladder. And then he ran away.
I feel like they might just have been in a state of slight disbelief as well. Like this.
I must be imagining this.
Yeah, is the round live? What's going on?
It must be kicking in right about now.
So, one last chance here for Tyloo. Think about the improvement we've seen out of Big from the Challenger stage into the Legend stage.
Oh, yeah.
That is incredible. A real story that's being built here. Molotovs rain in, one of them failing a little bit. Bentet winning that fight against Tizian. And it's instantly going to be falling back to the low ground. See if they can make their way. They're not going to slow down or change their minds, and they're going to lose Nex up close. Oh, this is getting very dangerous now. Goppy with a good recovery and taps in long range, holding the sidewalk down and shutting down somebody in X-Crit, so almost spiraled out of control. Captain Mo very careful with that one, but it will be Smooya fittingly to close the game. 16-17 here in favor of Big as they're going to take down Tyloo on train. And actually, Nex ended up top fragging at 24.
Yeah, Nex with 24. He really likes to take over on that T side. He's their main, he's the guy that starts things off coming out teammate. Smooya obviously brilliant. So is Tapsin on the CT side with the double up. I think they had an easier time of it. I still think Tyloo, like if you look at the strengths of this Tyloo team and then you add in two things. You imagine they learn how to handle ops and they handle post plants. That would be a dangerous Tyloo, but not to be here. They dropped to 1-1. I think the nice thing for Tyloo is no minors. They got to be happy about that.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I think that's such a huge result. I must say, though, as good as that win was, the high fives at the end were awful, Moses. It's like a weird mix of...
We need to get Issa in here for some for some high five lessons. Yeah.
Some of them were like fist bumps, but some of them were being received as high fives.
Seems really awkward. Yeah. Didn't feel good. I think either way, the scary thing for Tyloo is, it's going to be a story, I guess, throughout this entire day. Is the teams we have in that 0-1 category. And now, I mean, some of them are going to be 1-1. You have like Na'Vi, they can't play MIBR, obviously. But, there's some FaZe. You have some really tough teams in the 0-1 section that are going to be rough in the next round.
Yeah, I really look forward to it. I mean, there's gonna a lot of the story of this major is going to be based on today, probably, and how that all plays out.
How that lower bracket plays out.
We'll see.
Well, we can start things off. We got Paula down there with Big to talk things over. So, Paula, take it to us.
That's exactly right, Gob. One more win and you get directly to the Wembley SSE Arena. Sir, what's going through your head when you hear that?
Yeah, I'm really happy for, first of all, and second of all, it's like, at the same time I try to stay calm, because there's one more win, it's not going to be an easy one, for sure. So, yeah, try to relax now, and yeah, get back to preparing for the next game.
Let's go back to the draw yesterday when you found out you would be going up against Tyloo. What was your first initial thought?
My thought was like, the first thought was like not play Inferno. Yeah, and after that I tried to watch the demos, tried to see what's going on. Obviously we had an eye on them because they played the Challenger series like us. So yeah, we kind of knew what's going to happen. We had a good read on Train. We like to play Train against them. So yeah, that was like my first thought was like, let's don't play Inferno.
Yeah, so you obviously and successfully avoided Inferno, but it seems in a sense you definitely won the veto by putting them on a map that they're not very good at, which is Train.
Yeah, it was like two good maps for us, Overpass and Train, and yeah, I don't know why every other team likes to play against them Inferno, to be honest. I think they are really good on that map, like they are really world-class. On other map, I don't think they are world-class on every other map, so I think you could win the game by vetoing clever against them and preparing well, so I think the other teams didn't make their homework, and we did it, and that's why we won.
Two more questions with regards to Big specifically. Firstly, I tried to get Kakafu to talk a bit upon this yesterday. Now I'm going to ask you the same. Do you have any tricks up your currently right now non-existent sleeves?
Like in-game tricks? Yeah, we have some, but we don't know if we want to use it. We don't need to use it. We are... the best trick of us is that we prepare well, that we play together as a team well, and that's not a secret, but that's the best trick.
Nice, you know, pushing my question back at me. Final question then, talk a bit about Nex. He is a player that definitely sometimes has star performances like in this game, but he doesn't always seem to reach that height. How do you try to make that more consistent with him?
To be honest, he doesn't need to multi-frag a lot of times because he's much... Like, I don't know, the people out there don't know, because he's really clever player as well. He can play roles as well when sacrifice himself well. So maybe sometimes he doesn't have the best stats, but he's playing really well in a team. And if he communicates really well, then he doesn't need to make any frags, but he's just an insane player, even then when he's not making frags.
There we go. Thank you so much, Gob. Would you like to say anything else before I let you go?
Thank you everyone out there for your support. Hashtag gemeinsam, and we will see you hopefully in London in the arena.
All right, everybody. Gob B and Big Clan are now 2-0 here at this stage of the FACEIT Major. Let's head over to the Rooster known as Alex Richardson.
Yes, the Rooster that's waking you up with world-class Counter-Strike. Big versus Tyloo to start off our second day of the Legends stage, and it's certainly not without its flair, as Gob B claims to have won that game in the veto itself, also commenting on the teams that have given Inferno to Tyloo, suggesting they haven't done their homework. I love it. I absolutely love it. Gob B does his homework, and Big are now 2-0 here at the Legends stage.
I mean, we have to talk about Tyloo's map pool, right? If you go into a best of one, you get to veto 3 maps, and you play at this level. I mean, they made so many mistakes as T. They really have to worry how they're going to win a best of 3 versus any of these teams.
What worries us as well is, let's not forget, Tyloo's CT side short up until this point have been, I mean, as Gob B said, I think his word was world class, especially on Inferno. You just cannot break that wall. They look god tier. This CT side did leave a little to the imagination. However, they managed to start clawing things back.
I think they did do a pretty good job on their CT side. They just left themselves no room to work with here. I mean, once they lost a round, their economy was shot. They forced buy out because they didn't have the rounds to work with. And thus, they succumbed to the 16-7. But yeah, hats off to Big. I mean, like Gob said, no team has yet really abused Tyloo's weak map pool. They only really play 3 maps effectively. And when you can ban 3 maps, I mean, that leaves a big hole in your game, right?
Yeah. You just have to know where not to take it. I mean, the fact that we were sitting there crossing our fingers saying, no Mirage, no Inferno, nice and easy, no Cash maybe. It does have a huge flaw. Tyloo, perhaps a flaw that they'd have to overcome if they want to make a deep run. You know, of course, they'll be back for the next major. And I'm not writing them out of this one. I'm just suggesting that that would be where their next expansion would be, right? Threat is we'd wait to see their map pool get a little bit more competitive.
Yeah, and I want to go back to what I talked about before the game. Maybe they actually need a new coach. Maybe they need like to change things up, because if you play a map like Train, you can't really play this Puggy style. I mean, all their rushes, all their executes didn't look that thought through. We saw one round, I remember they just ran out pop. They actually won this one though, but they just ran out, no flashes, completely dry, and they were just lucky to get kills. Other rounds they just tried to take Pop Dog. They couldn't do it, so they went all back to A main. Next just stayed in Pop Dog and just could control the entire map.
So let me get this straight. We need a coach, probably like a seasoned one, like he's got experience. I don't know, maybe he's lived in Shanghai for a while as well. Okay. Like he's been to China, likes China. Maybe he'd be willing to live there again. I can't think of anyone. Who could that be? Yeah, maybe. I mean, he'd want experience. Maybe he's played like 1.6.
Yeah, maybe even someone that would have had experience standing in at a major or something.
Yeah,
that would help.
Yeah, it would be really good.
I have no idea what you...
No? Of course, Threat, maybe we'll be seeing him elsewhere coming into the next major. And jokes aside, we should continue to move on with that head-to-head. It's brought to you by the Predator. We brought up, of course, a couple of players from either side so we could get our heads around exactly how it's going to be shaping up. And I loved watching Xcurate play that. He was so naughty on that CT side. He didn't get many rounds to show us, but he was holding that down, especially on the inner side. That was cool.
Yeah, he definitely had a lot of really cool clips, like specifically towards inner. He had the one round on T side where he got naded down to 5 HP, comes back with a 3K that round. And then the round that he pushed upper and ended up winning, I think like a 1-on-2 or 1-on-3 that round. That was off of an inner stack where he initially started lower. So he's very mobile around that inner bomb site, constantly looking for picks. But yeah, Smooya, obviously one of them, like key players. Done it again. Yep, key players for Big yet again. Him and Nex stood out in my eyes as, you know, the stars for Big here.
Yeah, he really did dig them out of a multitude of different holes, and he's still rocking that AWP. It's the consistency that I'm loving from Smooya at the moment. He was, when he first put that big jersey on, an inconsistent presence. He would have those games where you kind of see that you see why he was picked up and pulled out the doldrums of UKCS, and now he's managing to replicate that performance.
I mean, we do have to point out, though, a lot of those kills that Smooya got, especially on the inner side, was due to the lack of smokes and proper flashes from Tyloo. I don't know how many kills he got when a guy just passed to the bomb train, or one guy just running on towards him on highway, where there were no flashes. And those kills are really easy.
And nice and easy, of course, for you to coach them and tell them what they're doing wrong. Okay, I need to stop making jokes. But Sean, I do want to see what you've got for us. You said big team play, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so this is actually the opening pistol round of the match. I just thought it was really unique how they approached this inner hits, because it was likely that a team that's not super structurally sound like Tyloo, they're going to come inner. So Gabi senses the hit, counter smokes lower. Tizian's actually on the upper ramp with 2 flashes, which is super unique, actually, for this guy to have 2 flashes and a kit. So he flashes for the rotate to come out. They're fighting the push constantly, and this is really important, actually. They lose the opening duel, but Tizian's holding the back lines, end up getting 2 kills right here to bring it back. And I just really liked how Big flowed around the map on this pistol round, because most teams aren't very imaginative, I guess, on how to use utility to stop that T-side push when they get close up with the Glocks.
It's just 2 flashes down lane,
yeah, so I thought that was really cool.
And I really like team that goes for less Kevlar on the CT pistol rounds. Like, I want to see the statistics on how many kills on the pistol is headshots. So, why do you need the Kevlar anyway?
I actually made a video about this like years ago, because I had the same theory. I was like, yeah, I think 2 and 3 sets of utility should be basically required on T side, because at this level of CS...
On the CT side? Or?
Yeah. On T side, actually. Okay. Because, I mean, at this level, just USP headshots are happening left and right. I think it was like 80% of the kills.
It's just no need to take that additional, huge investment and not grab yourself a flashbang or maybe even a pistol.
Yeah, and you can actually do like 2 or 3 smokes and you go for fast ninja diffusers, especially on a map like Train if they plant inner.
Yeah.
Just love the Swedish ninjas. The ninjas, of course they call themselves the ninjas in pajamas when they have such a fantastic pronunciation. This is an update for today though, and we can see exactly how our day is already shaping up. Big Clan 2-0, and we've got so much spice to come. Get yourself a glass of milk and a cookie, because you're going to need to cool off after what will be Vega, Astralis, Complexity G2 and NIP Team Liquid to see who's going to be taking the 2-0 crown and just one away from the top 8 and a trip to the crowd. It is all coming up. In fact, I'm looking forward to that next game already. Just intrigued to see whether what we're going to learn from the likes of Na'Vi FaZe. Let's not forget that's around the corner as well. In fact, that's where we're going next. Natus Vincere versus FaZe Clan in an elimination game. Reminder, epics.gg. If you want to check it out, you can do so on your phone or on the web page, and you can go ahead and collect and trade your favorite CSGO stars. Be sure to check it out while we take a break, because coming up after it, we see what FaZe Clan can do after they got pantsed by Big Clan on Dust 2 just yesterday to put them 0-1. It's all coming up after the break, for the FACEIT Major continues live from London.
I've been there since the beginning. Every map, every flag. With knowledge comes power, and power is to be wielded wisely, which is why, as the expert, I bet with Betway for the love of the game.
There's something out there. It tore my man apart. If we want to keep breathing, we need to kill this thing.
What's on the ship?
It's the ultimate predator.
I got a bit ahead of myself. Na'Vi FaZe will be happening today, just a little later on. And first we start with Winstrike versus fnatic. It is a big game and it is happening today, but so is this one. The Swedish roster fnatic have had to swallow their pride and then some, as they've on a bit of a losing streak so far here, looking to go ahead and prove their worth as they step into the ring, this time versus Winstrike. It's a team that surprised, of course, in the Boston Major. They were called Quantum Bullet or Fire, and now they find themselves under that Winstrike name, looking to do damage. So far not to be, in fact, quite close to humiliating defeat versus Team Liquid. But, as our analyst just said prior to the cameras rolling, that Liquid can do that to a team, and therefore this one is up in the air. Introductions, though, in order. We do have Sean Gez on the end, and of course Bjorn Threat Purse hanging out as well. I don't know where we take this conversation, gentlemen, because it's so interesting. I think we've lost faith in fnatic. What do you say about that, Sean?
I agree. Yeah, especially looking at their body language after they lost yesterday. Like, they didn't seem like they really cared, about the game very much. It was surprising to see them go out that way. Like it looked like they quit halfway through the game when Complexity started running away with things. But, I mean, they are going against Winstrike, who also looked very poor yesterday against Liquid.
Okay, so Threat, I'd like you to give me your least enthusiastic fist bump, because that's what fnatic were doing. You ready? Like, it was like you'd kind of went around, they kind of look at each other and go...
Yeah, probably yesterday, these were the two weakest teams.
That's
probably
summary.
by far as well. So I will favor fnatic slightly, but... I mean, they were so... The Complexity game, as Sean said, it was a really bad
16-4. 16-4 fnatic. We've got major winners, as Chad framed it. You've got major champions across the board, essentially, aside from Draken. And they lost 16-4 to Complexity, who admittedly have really come in hot to this tournament. Of course, Challenger stage, now Legends. But let's focus on Winstrike. And actually, Threat, I'd love you to just talk a little bit about what this roster has accomplished and still somewhat of an unknown quantity.
I talked about it yesterday. They have only played 8 maps before this event the last 3 months.
8 maps?
Yeah, according to HL3.org. And those maps are usually from just random online cups. So it's weird seeing them at the Legend stage. They did have a great run at the last major. But here I think they're just going to fall flat.
It's gonna be tough to best.
They have actually played 3 LANs since the last major. They played a mid.tv Cyber Cup, M-Game League 2 Finals, and the Zotac Masters. Actually, they also played that Mochi XL Esports one.
And what did we learn from those offline showings?
So at mid-TV, they lost to a team called Dream Eaters in a best-of-3.
Youch.
Yes. They actually beat Force in a best-of-5, went all 5 maps. So we learned that about them. They're better than Force, barely.
Okay.
And Zotac, they lost the King win. They took a map off of NTC, and then they ended up losing to SK. So,
okay. So you haven't really learned anything, actually, because this is the major, this is a best of 1, and this is where those individuals that they do have and that got them so far before can strike again. It is that unpredictable factor. There is no foolishness, no over expectations for Winstrike. I mean, they are a team that are not ranked, within your top 10, certainly maybe not even your top 20, but they do have this curveball factor that fnatic, especially in their current state, Threat, could succumb to.
Yeah, the problem for fnatic is that they don't really have a tactical style, and I think that's going to be work out really well for Winstrike. I think they're probably going to go for a Mirage or Cash pick, or sort of Inferno pick, and just try to play that Puggy style, and that's not really what you want to do against a team like Winstrike. You saw that yesterday when Liquid played them on Mirage, they just demolished them with just pure tactics.
And I have to say, I do want to light a little candle to the Flusher you're seeing in that clip. He has not been the same player that we know and love and have seen truly take over games. I still, to this day, whenever I see Flusher, I flash back to Katowice, where he played a game on train like no one has ever done. It was just outrageous. The clutches that just don't look legitimate. You shouldn't be able to do what he did in the server. We haven't seen that Flusher, and he is, of course, one of the necessary components in the fnatic machine when it all does get up and running.
Yeah, I agree. Flusher has definitely struggled lately, to say the least. He's typically a player you think of as having such impact on fnatic. Like, you can't forget those first majors that Flusher just put up MVP numbers, actually, with his utility and nades. But yeah, he's struggled tremendously on Inferno particularly, which is a map fnatic actually excels on. His one shining light right now maybe is playing Catwalk on Mirage. He's still putting up numbers there. But yeah, he really needs to find his place on this team.
Yeah, and I mean, that is something I wanted to talk about. When we talk about Flusher, you must smile and be proud to see so much fantastic utility usage out of one player. He has got some absurd nade damage stats.
Yeah, I was just gonna say his HE use is just insane. I think he had the highest by far for a while. I think a lot of the Astralis players probably surpassed him by now. But it's still very interesting to see. And as you said, Sean, it's interesting to see how he can be a bad Inferno player, where that is the map where I would say it's the most easy to use the HEs.
But they do put a lot of pressure on Flusha on T side to work Banana solo, and he's just getting shut down. Like we saw it yesterday against Complexity. They tried to throw Flusha into Banana all by himself a couple rounds, got picked off. He was getting picked off in Halls too once he went there later in the game. So yeah, he just can't find his footing.
He's trying to find his footing, and perhaps now is the time, Winstrike, a potential opponent for him to just step on his road to the top 8. It's going to be a bumpy road, and this is brought to you by the Predator. It's your head-to-head. We have Boom Mitch and Crims. That's Boom Mitch. That's apparently how you pronounce that from the Cyrillic. And I don't know which way to take this one, because Crims, when he is on form, and I feel like we're prefacing a lot of our Fnatic statements with when he is on form, he's a turret. He does so much for his team.
Just 2 months ago, I think a lot of people would have said that Crims is by far the best player in Sweden. They had a great run in the beginning of the year as well, where you saw both Flush and Crims playing really well. However, the last few events has not been that great. And if you talk about the best player in Sweden right now, I think most people would look to NIP.
Yeah, the Ninjas have been performing. Now, you've been talking about the maps a lot, Brett. I'll let you and Sean dive into this one, because it's a conversation of just basically tossing up a couple of the default best of 1 maps.
Yeah, so Winstrike doesn't play Dust 2, Fnatic doesn't play Nuke, and what we're likely going to see is, like Bjorn said earlier, this is going to come down to Inferno and Mirage. I guess it could, if Fnatic allowed it to, have Train in there, but I wouldn't see Fnatic wanting to play on Train.
I saw a 17% in Fnatic's Train recently, which is not inspiring confidence. Perhaps we just end up on that Mirage and Inferno all over again.
Can we talk about how nice both their jerseys are?
Yeah.
These are like the sickest jerseys in the tournament.
We are innovating. We're moving. We've got some stars from none other than Winstrike, and you can barely even see Fnatic. They're just
literally in the head-to-head. I don't know who you couldn't see more, because the left one literally just blended in with the background. The right one, it was just the head of Crims.
Just Crims' head and his cap, of course. Signature. And bye-bye cash. So yes, you nailed it, Bjorn. I don't know if I'm happy that you nailed it, but it is going to be between Mirage and Inferno yet again. And Inferno, I think we're closing in on over 30 Inferno games so far, if you combine the 2 stages.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't let yesterday deceive you. Fnatic is actually very good on Inferno. It's a map that they have a very high win percentage on over the last 3 months, and it's probably their best map. That map just went out of control for them. Maybe they started tilting when they lost that second eco round. But with that being said, this is, a map where underdogs can win. We've seen it a lot in the last week or two.
And I'd love for you guys to share just this conversation that I've heard you two have, which was just regarding your opinions on playing Inferno in a best of 1. I mean, Bjorn, I'll let you start this one. It doesn't seem like you guys share the same sentiment as the current competing teams, that this is an optimal best of 1 map.
Well, I think Inferno is a map with great variance, especially on the CT side. If you lose the pistol round, you win the first weapon round, maybe have 1 or 2 guys surviving, you get money screwed immediately. You can be looking at a 7-1 score, and the game hasn't even started yet, and you're on the CT side.
Yeah, like Bjorn said, I just think the game can snowball out of control on CT side when you get utility. So if you're on T side, you lose a pistol, or like Fnatic did yesterday, they lost that second round, and then you lose the first gun round.
It can slip out really quick.
You can lose your footing immediately and find yourself down, 8-1, 8-0, and at that point, you're not coming back into the half.
Yeah, and of course, no second map to fall back on. It's a best of 1, it's cutthroat, and this is going to be sending one team to 0-2 territory where your margin for error completely disappears. We have a rather fabulous Anders, and of course, Jason Moses O'Toole, the professional of us all. Gents, we are needing a prediction, and I want to know, Anders, because I know what you're going to do, I'm going to be asking you for your prediction first.
He doesn't have the balls to do that, don't worry.
You don't think so?
No.
I don't know, I'd be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised.
Do it.
Mr. Bloom.
No, you have no idea how much I want to.
I know you do. That's what I'm saying. Get it out there. Come on. Be brave.
I have my surprise pick for later today. So for now, we're gonna stick the course, and we'll pick Fnatic to win this map.
Yeah, and Jason, I imagine you're replicating his sentiment.
Yeah, I'm on Fnatic purely in a bid to get one of them jerseys.
I see. I see. Good. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, for new Fnatic jerseys,
I'm gonna get a Nolof Meister Fnatic camo jersey.
Oh,
that's what I'm going for.
Combo deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if they'd like that, but I'm going to do it.
I would have picked the Senior Vac one. I think that would have been good, but go on.
Ooh, gentlemen, we do need to come to a conclusion here. Is it going to be a full Fnatic flag flown?
I'm actually on the fence here. I really think they could steal this map.
Surely
from
not.
And with that,
but I submitted my pick early. And I also really want that camo jersey too.
I see. Okay, so you all want to wear your Primark jerseys. What have you got, Threat?
I mean, I don't want to pick Fnatic after their poor performance yesterday, but I have to go with Fnatic.
Okay, I mean, it is the logical choice, isn't it? Like, everything points towards Fnatic taking this one, and I am leading the current talent predictions, so I need to just follow a logical trail of thought. So I'll go for Winstrike. I think that's what I'll do here. Let's do it. Let's go. All in.
Oh, it's so cute.
Let's see what happens. I mean, look, Sean was just brainstorming with me, and he said Fnatic basically Fnatic are going to give the aim jewels that they didn't get yesterday versus Liquid, right? Winstrike didn't get given those fights because they were just facing a barrage of utility, predetermined utility. Fnatic don't have that.
No.
So if Boomich is hitting his shots, we could have Boston V2 here, boys.
All right. I like
that. Could happen.
You like it? Yeah, that's enough. Jason, Anders, we're going to let you talk us through this one, and we'll see how silly I look in about half an hour's time.
Well, surely Sean is also the zodiac sign rat. He has to have been like. Why is he setting yourself like that?
No, he's just hedging. He's just hedging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wants to be able.
Doesn't
to
want to commit.
Yeah. I'm disappointed. Yeah. So I'm glad that Alex went for Winstrike, because I think there's only 3 of us at the 75% prediction rate right now, and Alex is one. I'm the other one. I can't remember what the last one was.
Your surprise pick later is going to ruin your 75%.
You think so?
Absolutely.
It's going to be exciting, Moses.
Well, either way, what's going to be exciting is seeing exactly what you all think about this matchup. So check it out at upcomerapp.com, and the Upcomer app obviously on the iOS store and the Android store. So you guys can vote on who you think is going to win, and we're going to throw that up. And obviously, that's a bit rough. You are in the part of the 16% club. We got a 15% club now too.
We do have one.
You're not part of it.
I'm not part of it. I mean, I really don't think. I think 85 to 15 is slightly ridiculous. I think just because we are talking best of one game on Inferno, like things can get really strange. So
well, I think part of the problem as well is just another one of those teams that, like, since the major, like they kind of highlighted some of the things that this team had done since they were QB Fire, now Winstrike, but we just don't know anything about them really from Boston to now.
Yeah, which could be a huge problem for Fnatic, right? Like, I would say this is more like a 65-35.
I don't even think Fnatic looks into their opponents that like FaZe, so I don't know if that's going to matter whatsoever. The big thing is just like let's see some of these players come back. Let's see the resurgence. Let's see JW just bodying people. Let's see Draken with the AWP. I want to see some Crims just holding down bomb sites 1 versus 4. I want to see all the classics. I want to get some nostalgia in this matchup. Either way, it's huge for Fnatic. They absolutely, you can't take this lightly, even though you have that huge advantage. Here's Flush and Exist, though, and they're actually fighting. And I think they might go down. Exist feels like he can't get away, and he tries to cross back. 1 kill. Crims is still here, but all 4 players. This is what I wanted.
Yep, instantly smoked off against Crims. Is he going to challenge it? The rest did on top Banana, but not this time. He wants to stay behind, and there is still Draken over at the other side. He's very slow on the rotation. Not sure if there was going to be some sort of fake, but now the bomb should be planted on the other side. This boost, on the other hand, though. Oh, JW, one opportunity there. Oh my god, he gets the random click through the smoke, taking down quick. That is so disgusting. 3 on 3 now, and surely Winstrike are going to be incredibly upset about all of this. JW looking into the bomb site, trying to see if he can catch anyone. Boomich and Velina still left, and Waterfalls too. See if they can maybe get that bomb down at some point. They've been in the bomb site for a very long time with nothing really happening. They've lost all control of it at the moment. That was a really good idea for Velina. That would have been a big opening. Boomich instead taking down JW. 2 on 3 with 40 seconds left, and they're going to push out, trying to chase him down. Draken in so much trouble. And now they're somehow evacuating a good kill and a good follow-up. Crims with a double, and somehow Fnatic winning. What a ridiculous round.
That is pretty crazy, and obviously JW gets so fortunate through the smoke, but it's not the kill that matters. It's the fact that it's the bomb carrier. The bomb drops to the floor, the smoke clears, and then Winstrike doesn't have anything to make Fnatic actually try and attack the bomb site. They're the ones who have to be the aggressor still, because it's not safe enough to get the bomb plant down, so Winstrike has to expose themselves to all the different crossfires. And a good pistol round win, a really sketchy pistol round win, a really hard pistol round win.
Yeah.
But Fnatic's got it.
Now they're buying 4 UMPs and an MP9 against the CSET 75 army that's on the other side. kind of scary. I mean, that UMP, the rate of fire is pretty low compared to the ZZ 75. So to get up close and personal could be a bad time.
Could be. We'll see. I mean, they have to have some kind of a set plan to get themselves close. They have the smokes and the flashbangs to do it. Question becomes, where do they want to go? Fnatic have established presence at top banana. Crims and Flusha both sticking around. Crims just jumping over for some kind of a peek, and I believe that means Flusha would have, you imagine he would have a utility out, a flashbang of some sort. Yeah, there's Crims spotting a couple and just falling away. Don't want to challenge with the SMGs at that range.
Really, my main reason for picking Fnatic in this one, I guess that kind of applies to Winstrike, so maybe it evens out, maybe there is no logic, but it was just something like, you know, that was their first match at the Major yesterday, Fnatic, and I kind of don't see them making the same mistake of waking up cold for a game 2 days in a row. JW instantly traded. Good shot from Boomic, ducking in with the C-set 75, and that smoke is a little bit annoying, but they've slowed it down. 35 seconds. Why have they slowed it down?
Yeah, I don't know. They used all their utility. They used all their. They have one left, but they used their smokes. They used their flashbangs to have that kind of a waterfall, and they've just hit the brakes. 23 seconds exists out in the open, but that's going to be an easy one to handle. And yeah, I think because of that pause, it's going to fizzle out. Although Drake and he's exposed. If they hard clear this, it could get dangerous. There's Jimko with these CZs, but they can't find the kill. No plant going to go down. Boomic. Yeah. I think, yeah, he's definitely going to go down. Oh, he's got it.
That is, I don't know, it's not really a big deal, right? But more than he should have had. It certainly seemed like it. Maybe they didn't know how low he was, and they were afraid of, I don't know, rushing through the smoke. Regardless, a little bit of a win at the end for Winstrike. Now it's 2-0 in favor of Fnatic, but they still can't really buy in this round. I mean, they can upgrade some pistols if they want to, but again, the real test is going to be a bit later on. Yeah, that slowdown. Maybe they saw something we didn't, but it was a bit of a shame.
It was. They couldn't have known this, obviously. But once they get that kill on JW, Exist is stuck behind that smoke at small pit, right? So Draken is really exposed in the bomb site. He's all alone. And they did hard clear it, and they did, you know, fail to get that kill when they eventually did enter in. But, you know, you get that kill, and if you do it quickly when you just attack out of those halls, and or at least trade it, then all of a sudden you've got yourself in a favorable position with all of Fnatic is on the other side of the map, not ready quite to rotate. They're not as close by, and you can maybe make something happen. Regardless, not a huge deal.
No, we'll resume the action in round number 3 here. And Fnatic feeling, you know, pretty aggressive over at Banana right now. I kind of like that. I actually kind of want Fnatic to play themselves into this game and not just sort of wait around, especially starting on the CT side. I'd like it if they were just a bit crazy, you know?
Yeah.
Don't have to be completely mad.
Yeah, don't have to go full on insane. Oh god, they all lined up. That's going to be easy for Flusha. Getting on the board early. Triple kill in the round, a lot of bonus money, and there's going to be a bonus round coming up next, I would imagine.
Good to see Flusha. What did he have, like 4 kills in that game yesterday overall?
Wasn't great.
It was really not a good game for him, so you want to see him off to a good start. And Valina going to go down.
I wonder if something crazy is going to happen, like Draken maybe pass the M4 over to Flusha, Flusha drop him at AWP if they want to get that AWP out, or if they just really want to go for a full bonus round. And I guess knowing it's Fnatic, probably go for the full bonus round.
Yeah, why not? I was going to say maybe one of the UMPs could have bought the AWP, and then you could have juggled the UMP into the B-bomb site, so you could pick it up later if you
get real wild.
Yeah. So, 3-0 in favor of the Fnatic team, and in round number 4, we've got AKs and a lot of utility here on Winstrike, so let's see what they have prepared for us. JW running straight on over, going to be flashed in. Actually, he's going to keep running with a UMP. Well, that's a way to get really creative. How can Winstrike see this coming? That flashbang might have surprised them a little bit. You could see Valina's not ready for it, and a double grenade, I think, from Flusha and Exist on the other side. Almost a kill there on Quick, but imagine how disorientating this is right now for Winstrike. They've got to be so confused. I'm confused, Moses. Help me.
No, that's great. I mean, that's the entire point of the bonus round, is do something crazy that's going to catch your opponent off guard. You have the SMGs. It's not the biggest thing if you lose them. Even if you lose this round, Fnatic, your goal with keeping the SMGs is just to find a number of kills that's going to make things difficult for Winstrike to build upon it. And obviously, just the sheer aggression and losing 2 players in the first 15 seconds is going to throw any plan they had to hell. And this is where the kind of the underdog and the more inexperienced teams can really struggle to find themselves a way back into these rounds. Quick can't do anything here. He's going to have to play far back. He's kind of the bomb guy from now on. And it's Flusha at the B-bomb site. He's got a smoke and a Molotov, and he has no pressure being put on him. 40 seconds as he throws that smoke. It'll expire at 23-ish. And then he's got a Molotov, which is, what, another 7 seconds? So this is going to be really, really tough, really dicey for Winstrike.
I love it when you do math, Moses. It, you know, just puts me in a good mood. 23 seconds, as you said, and the smoke about to fade on the other side. Flusha going to be falling back, dodging most of the fire, and that's actually not true for Quick. He's already down to Flusha's Molotov, and the spam through Jimka almost going down to that. So a lot of trouble, and it's all going to fade out here. JW, the only one going down to that crazy push that was happening in the beginning. What a great hole for Fnatic. And I mean, from Winstrike's point of view, you go into that 4th round, like your first rifle round, you obviously have some sort of set plan to, like, we're going to bounce right back. And that gets taken away from you so quick when that push happens. Even if it's just 1 kill and some damage, it's just so confusing.
And then it turns into a mental game of, if you're Winstrike now, I mean, that's kind of one of those things where you're like, oh, God, here we go. This Fnatic, this aggressive Fnatic team, like, they might just, we might just get blown out of this match. It's the kind of thought that creeps into the back of your head, even if you don't want it.
Honestly, it's been way too long since I've seen that from Fnatic. Like, I really miss it. I kind of want it back.
I think you're going to see it here. Not going to lie to you.
Even though
I was so confident in Fnatic winning this game, it wasn't even a question in my mind. And you know, I know the guys in the desk were saying, you know, they believe it's possible. I didn't for once believe there was any possibility of Winstrike taking this map. As I say that.
Yeah, I was going to say, thanks, Moses. Valina, take it down, JW. That smoke again, really working wonders for them. So 3-on-4.
They might have to save.
They might just have to save. I mean, I don't know, they're going to have maybe 1 chance to get a good kill if that grenade had connected all the way and taken down Jimco, maybe they would have been away. But now it just doesn't really seem possible. So, yeah, I would say even winning 4 in a row, probably not worth throwing away all these rifles. The bomb is just so quick in this particular round. Crims, missing the timing by just, what, a millisecond. That's going to get him killed. Same will be true for the rest. Yeah. So, yeah. It's at OnFireMoses on Twitter if you want to direct your complaints to... Just beautiful, isn't it?
So as I was saying, Winstrike has some really cool things that can really allow them to win this game.
This is just so unreasonable.
Those fast-paced attack towards the A-bomb site can really be effective. Nice round from Winstrike. Picking up the pace and not slowing, and yeah, that'll get you right back into it. Op out on Draken for the first time, and yeah, that's I really feel, I know it's like a weird thing where you win, I mean, Fnatic had a lot of money. Really wanted to go for that retake, but it does feel like those rifles just went to waste.
That's one of those things where, for sure, if you had been watching, say, North or Astralis, you know what would have happened.
Yep. Especially when you consider the fact that because it happened so fast, those A defenders initially weren't able to even use their utility. So, I mean, Winstrike was able to pick up so many smokes, just repeatedly block things off. That's the nightmare scenario for Fnatic. This is a weird setup, I feel, with Draken has an AWP, but he's on the balcony at the A bomb site. Normally you're going to see an M4 here.
Yep, I agree. Might not be a problem, and they do have 2 of an arch, so probably one of them is going to be pretty quick on the rotation. Smoke timing there. Krim still has a Molotov, and they are on the other side. Oh, if he keeps firing, they might just come through, feeling the timing of it. They're going to be walking right through the smoke with almost no signal whatsoever. Flusha still gets the kill, taking down Valina, and that's a pretty good beginning now. 4-on-5. Bomb on the other side, and they need a quick bomb plant this time. Can't be in the same position as last time. Crims with a headshot on Quick coming through. Now it's a 3-on-5, and they're getting whittled down slowly. Some damage on Jimper as well. Waterfall's going to win the fight against Crims. That's a big one. But they are low on health right now. 3-on-3 in the afterplant, and they need to hold on to this round. Winstrike, they managed to steal that last one incredibly with the C-set 75s, and now they need to continue in order to stop this economy from the Fnatic side. And I must say, the Swedes are being a little bit slow in this retake. They wish they had probably just 1 grenade to block off maybe, well, any position right now would be helpful. Exist going to be charging on through, crouching in, getting that one, turning around, and good shots coming in, and Boomich taking down JW, and now they have no shot at doing it. Draken actually missing a big one there, and a follow-up as well. Pistol's going to do it, but the round will go to Winstrike. That's... I don't know, a little bit disappointing almost.
I felt like Fnatic had that one in the bag. Certainly, they had so many advantages. Obviously, that one kill on Crims was the turning point, where he swings out, he's all alone, and he gets the one kill, and he's traded off her right after the bomb goes down. Fnatic actually does a great job of finding a couple kills. That's the kill I was talking about right there. That's where it gets so much safe. Like you said, no utility to really flush him out, and great post-plant position. So even with a low HP, huge advantage to Winstrike. Op that was saved on Draken, and we've got a Zeus, we've got 2 Deagles, we've got a CZ on Exist. Not a lot of utility. Not investing in those smokes that we see so frequently in these kinds of rounds to kind of delay these hits. A lot of faith in Draken to be able to find you some advantages.
Ooh. Oh, JW, Valina, the grenade. Oh no! Where did the lightning go, Moses? How could it disappear like that? Maybe he was wearing
rubber armor.
I actually don't think it matters, but not for this, Moses.
This is not Zelda.
Maybe he was inside of a Faraday cage, Moses. You up for some physics?
No, not in particular. Again, that's one of those conversations that's supposed to occur later in the evening.
Yeah, we can get there. We probably will. Flusher up on the coffins, trying to look over the smoke. It's not a bad idea, but no deal connection just yet. They do have a 3-man stack here, but again, Draken with that AWP. He's been fairly defensive, which, I don't know, I guess that kind of maybe is his style a little bit. But in a round like this, I wish you would have had, you know, this is where you need Execute, right, to just run through smokes.
I don't know, Draken has that reputation as well of being a little bit of a crazy opper. Good kill onto Crims, and that's the only player at Banana for Winstrike. So I mean, while they progress upon this A bomb, so there's nothing Fnatic can do, and you have to respect this call out of them. They didn't save those rifles earlier, but Draken coming back with the AWP and just saying, you know what, I've got teammates here. They're falling quickly, but I'm gonna save this off. A bomb site is going to be clear. They're very happy, even though Quick goes down, that they know where the AWP is.
Yep.
And round's over.
Really good call out of Winstrike. You've got to appreciate that as well. Fnatic didn't give away, but they sort of got robbed in that CSET 75 round. Really important that Winstrike don't give that round back later on by some, you know, walking into a stack at the B bomb site or anything like that. So it may seem relatively simple, but they avoided all of that danger, and that's just a good job. I like that. So 3-4, and Winstrike starting to get back into the game a bit more. Their economy slowly building, and they're only losing 1 person in this round. And Fnatic just need to recompose themselves a little bit.
Yeah, and I think they should go back. That previous gun round that we saw Winstrike kind of just march up to the B bomb site. Winstrike was able to get Banana control. I forget which player it was. I almost want to say Jimka for some reason. Was able to get top Banana past that car and sandbags very early on. So they had control of Banana for the majority of that round. So when they do come back, they can just march up B pretty much with no cares in the world. They know it's all clear. So here we go. M4s. AWP on Draken still. He's got a lot of money in the bank. So does Exist has a decent amount as well.
Do you have a tweet that you could read out, Moses, from one of the fans? He's called Sean Gaz.
He's our biggest fan. He messages us a lot. It's weird.
Yeah, says if we call him a rat one more time, he's gonna go with Hellraisers.
You know, it's an affectionate term.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
We'll give him those autographs he's been asking for later. And
don't you worry, Sean.
It'll be all fine.
We've got you. Round number 8 here, and the scoreline is very close. 1 round lead for Fnatic, 4-3. And pretty good mid-control here for Winstrike. No Banana control yet. We'll see if they want to retake it later on. It could be a little bit dangerous if you don't retake Banana at all on the T side, or at least show your presence there. Right now, it's maybe not going to harm them that much because Fnatic have decided for a 1 man there and then 4 at the A-bomb site. See, the timing has almost disappeared now for Winstrike. Very aggressive for Exist.
That's a very bold peek as well. He even stomped in that gap to take a couple more shots at the angle. 4 players here, though, with Crims at the half wall, so Draken's going to have a job to do. He's completely blind. He's got a teammate over towards Arshes. That's Flusha. He's going to get the first kill. The Op's going to peek again, but oh, this is great. Flusha holding off so well, keeping space in front of Draken, allowing time for him to get unblinded. Bomb is picked up, but where can you go from here? At this point now, it's Crims who has to be put on notice to say, I have to be careful. Someone is going to come back to at least check this, and it's the Op.
Oh, I would love to see this whole round from Valina's point of view, because I feel like there was a chance. Big one open here, and Jimka taking down Flusher, and just like that, it's a 3-on-3, but only 24 seconds. So they've got the bomb site. That's great, but one mistake here. Waterfalls is holding it long range with the AWP. And around the corner, Drek, and he knows it's going to be dangerous. Flashbang over the building, still peeks right into it, and that's an easy shot. Exist getting the one, and that's the bomb down with 8 seconds. And that's it. There's no chance. That is a horrible way for Winstrike to lose a round. They actually had done that very well.
What a shot from Exist on Waterfalls with the AWP. He had to get that kill. I thought Waterfalls, he's in the perfect position to hold off all those rotations. You could see it on that first kill. He's preventing anyone from coming over. But fnatic is lucky to get away with that one. Flusha goes back for more. Yeah, instant double tap. Beautiful from Exist. And I mean, they didn't really have, you can't really rely on a flashbang in that scenario to do too much work. So the fact that, I mean, Exist just kind of had to bait his teammate and let him die there. I don't think Winstrike expected a second player, but as you said, the time running out, they didn't really have a chance, but just to try and cross in that moment.
Draken now holding top banana. Flashbang to force him off the angle. He did do it, Moses.
I know. Why'd he do that?
You tried to warn him.
You could just see it in the way he was shoulder peeking that. He really wanted to go back for it. At flashbang, though, I mean, once that AWPer has the angle, it's so tough. I mean, I think we saw Fallen kind of challenge it and win that yesterday, but it's not going to happen every single time. Man advantage for Winstrike. Flusha again with this UMP. He's been playing well with it.
It's almost like there were other options. I don't know if Draken had another HE, but Krim certainly has one, so they could have, you know, just
down
said,
deep,
yeah,
let him peek with that.
Just said, all right, we'll do like 40 damage to you, and then you can have the angle, but it's going to cost you a little bit. Well, great hindsight. So Draken out of the round, a little bit unfortunate. And neither of these teams have an economy to really start losing rounds right now.
Neither of these teams have the economy to be playing 4-on-5. Look at how they're cheating over towards the B bomb side. This is the wrong call to make. JW, he's all alone here, and just one player applying so much pressure. Oh, there's the walkout. He can get so much more with this. A contact play might allow fnatic to get back into the round. And they're starting to get forced back. JW's doing a great job. He's doing everything he possibly can.
Yeah, moving up. He doesn't want to get trapped in the corner. He doesn't know if anyone's coming in for quad right now. It's a little bit of a delayed right one, and only 17 seconds. Again, Winstrike. The time left here could be a big problem, but Boomich and Waterfalls coming up with some big kills there, taking down JW and Exist, and now Flusha, the only one left on the bomb side. Oh my god, hiding and waiting. One more second. Can they pick up the bomb? No, I don't think they can do it. I don't think there's enough time for the plan. It's going to be incredibly close, and fnatic will win it just in the last millisecond. That's back-to-back rounds where Winstrike run out of time. How much more can you keep doing? I mean, that is surely going to eat up the team's morale really quickly.
Yeah, this timing is going to hurt. I think they're obviously going to be happy that they're getting into these situations, but really, really bummed that they can't find a way to get into the bomb site. JW held off that entire team just by reputation, just by fear of JW, fear of fnatic, the fact that no one even attempted to trade that kill properly.
Yeah.
No one actually attacked him, and obviously you can't know that he's the only player there, but someone's got to put more pressure on him. You can't just let him survive. Fast towards Banana. Grims is here. He gets that opening kill. Can't get away from Waterfalls, who's doing a great job with the AWP. Nade coming in is going to take him out. And Flusha going to continue to challenge forward. Eats an nade by himself and just relentless from both sides.
Please, Flusha. Just, I mean, there's no reason to. Seems like absolute craziness. Good return with the grenade. That was all he needed, basically. At that point, just leave the rest alone. You've got the 4-on-3, and they still do. But fnatic really, really need to think about the economy right now. Those couple of rounds for Winstrike where they run out of time are really hurting them. If they can survive this round with 3 or 4 people alive on the fnatic team and win it, then it's going to be 7-3, and Winstrike will be, yeah, deep in the hole.
We're in the midst of one of those battles at this stage in the half where it still is undecided which way the pendulum is going to swing, and if we're going to have a blowout of a half. If fnatic can actually sustain through this, they might just be able to rack up the scoreline. Here's that peek and a great headshot. Jimka showing off some skills with the AWP, and Exist now has got to fight in fire.
Pushing into the corner. They have a little bit of suspicion. That's a great friendly flashbang coming in for Exist. He can't follow it up, so Boomich will still take him down. 24 seconds, trying to get the bomb plant. JW going to come running right through, spraying, and that's the bomb. He stopped even before it goes down, and he does it again, right through the smoke. And Jimka not ready for it. That's the JW we do love to see. And 7-3. That's going to stop the bomb plant from going down, and Winstrike out of money. This is a really, really big turn in the first half.
Yeah, that was a huge round for Fnatic to be able to take, especially denying the bomb plant, preventing that extra $800. You never know what that might have actually convinced Winstrike they could purchase in this round. Should be an easier time for Fnatic in this, but remember, what got Winstrike started on that 3-round streak was a win with Deagles and CZs, so Fnatic's got to be careful. But my lord, that battle, about 5 or 6 rounds, Fnatic just barely hangs on and just completely blind as Flusha. He goes down for free.
Yeah, don't really want to do it again, Moses. We've had one of these rounds. If you can keep your mouth shut and not talk about Fnatic's easy road to a victory.
Why is it like this? Why have I never learned to control this power? It's too much responsibility for one man.
You would be making Alex stay, wouldn't you, though? Maybe that's worth it. Maybe it's worth it.
It's not.
Draken just baiting a little bit for Exist. Oh, that's a good shot. And if they try and chase him down, at least one good return. But oh my god, quick taking down Exist. Not at all what they were expecting. This round slightly falling apart. Crim's now holding at the coffins. And, I mean, he's going to have to do this on his own. JW is so far away.
And not only is he a 1-on-3, but he has to read the fact that it's likely coming here. I think the benefit of this play from Crims, there's no smoke picked up on Winstrike.
Yeah, but that could also backfire. I mean, the smoke would at least give him the warning, right? Now, how late is it going to be before he realizes, I don't even know how to call this one?
I expected him to go all the way around and at least have eyes on it, but he's just being passive. He knows the B-split is a possibility, so he's got to respect that, got to get in a reasonable safety. And now, how aggressive does he want to get? He would love to find one kill before JW gets here, and he's going to find it. Quick out in the open. He's going to challenge for more. He's got Jimka and keeps spraying. Boomich down low, and he's going to go for the challenge. That might have been the only chance he had, and I like that play from Boomich.
Up on the high ground here. JW, big of a challenge, instant headshot. That's incredibly well done. 1 versus 2 for Boomich, winning a critical round here for the Winstrike team. So 4-7. That, I mean, Crims did everything right in that one, but you could see, and if JW had been, instead of running towards the bomb side, I mean, he couldn't have known this, but if he'd been ready, then Boomich would have been dead in a second, peeking in towards CT spawn. What a crazy first half here.
Yeah, but you have to respect it. Boomich is just saying, listen, I have low HP. I have to try and just peek and get aggressive and catch JW off guard on the rotation. And either way, he does it with his positioning after the fact. Fnatic just crippled by the fact that they've lost 2 rounds now against these pistols. Winstrike doing a great job, and just part of it is none of the kills for Fnatic in that round were clean, right? Like that defense on the wrap side, Draken misses a shot. He does get 1, but the fact that he went back for a second just made him way too exposed to the next player swinging. Exist took too long to get that first kill, and the second player is able to adjust and react accordingly. Fnatic not looking as sharp as you'd like. I had this team pegged coming into this event as a dark horse, this Fnatic side, because we've seen some good things before the player break from them improving and getting better.
Yeah, they definitely were. Started to feel a little bit of that old Fnatic spirit creeping back into the team. Could still just be sort of the early and slow start. It is kind of rough when you're coming into the legend stage and you get to play one best of one to prove yourself, and then
yeah, but you don't get to have a slow start. You're 0-1, facing a match that you are massively favored to win, even despite the struggles you had in the first round. You cannot afford to lose this if you're Fnatic.
He's just waiting behind the smoke. He wishes that they'd
Stacks
come through.
coming over.
Yeah, so the timing window is closing really quickly for Winstrike right now. We said they can't afford to walk into a stack earlier. They might be doing it right now. A bit of a peek and an instant headshot. Jimka low on health in 25 seconds. If they want to do this, oh, they're going to walk right into it. Everybody's here with 20 seconds. This could be another heartbreaking round for Winstrike. They are going to be able to get the kill. Valina opening up on Exist, but they're running out of time really quickly. Just Crims left, and they get every single kill they needed. That is really, really well done on the T side. That could have gone horribly wrong, but bomb plant down, and now it's a 1-on-4 here, so they make their way through and will be winning a 5th round.
Fnatic just can't find any frags. This is so weird. They're not able to complete any of these kills. Look at the HP. Jimka at 9, 1 HP on Valina. Quick at 32. They had the opportunities. The stack presented them a couple players not even looking in that direction. And I guess Crims, all you can really do is hope you're going to take some weapons away. But bless it all, we've got ourselves a game.
Yeah, they've really opened this up. And look at the Fnatic economy. We could actually...
They fully invested in that previous round.
So we could go from having a fairly awful-looking first half for Winstrike to suddenly one that's great.
Every time Fnatic's been about to like really run away with this game, remember it was what, 4-0 I think it was, as they were building up some money earlier on. Winstrike wins a save round 3 in a row with Fnatic finally stabilizing after that third win, and then Winstrike wins a CZ round.
Yeah. So kind of a little bit unforgivable almost. I mean, good couple of grenades. Did they catch Draken running there? I think they did. Yeah. That's pretty cool. Just getting the timing down perfect.
Don't see that every day.
We've seen it tried, I think, a fair bit, but it's not a bad idea.
Well, the nades are used there to obviously prevent like an AWPer from peeking, right? Just dissuading any kind of aggression in that area.
Well, he was spotted making a jump, right? So the AWP tried to flick him and then presumably calls that out for the people in second mid, so it's a pretty sweet idea. This is an easy cleanup round. Winstrike not really giving much back, even if Fnatic have offered them a couple of helping hands in the first half here. It will be a 6th round for the Winstrike team. 6-7 now. And moving into the very late stage of the first half, round number 14 coming up, and they can buy, yeah, but it's kind of a miserable buy. I mean, especially we look at the equipment or the utility.
It's not ideal. It's not what you'd like.
No.
If you're a Fnatic fan.
I'm worried about the 3 people without hand armor when there's that Mac 10 in play.
Flush has been using the UMP, I feel like, for a lot of this game. 11 kills so far for him. He's leading the way for Fnatic. It's crazy because we've talked about this as, you know, Fnatic could have such a huge lead if they hadn't lost those 2 force buy rounds. If you look at it from the other direction and you look at Winstrike and you just say, Winstrike could have such a huge lead if they didn't let the time run out in those 2 rounds. Like, think about that.
Yeah,
they kind of had those rounds almost won. A brilliant play from Exist, and the other one is Flush of just killing the bomb planter.
Yeah, that's a good point. So maybe it all evens out at the end.
Yeah.
JW, now there's Draken, I think, coming back, but otherwise he was kind of alone. Now he's kind of alone again. This is swapping out. This is dangerous.
Fnatic just seems, I don't want to say afraid or scared, but they seem like they don't know exactly what's coming. They do not seem comfortable on this map.
Yeah, too much shuffling about, right? Like, you know, you need to have these positions down. If you get pushed when you're sort of walking back and forth and swapping around at library, that could just be the end of the round really quickly. Oh, and he just pulls out the grenades. They're going to jump him down. He gets the FAMAS back out again for a big double kill. So huge. That could have gone awfully wrong once again. He gets back around the corner. The Molotov, he can put it out with a smoke, so good movement. Then actually a bit of a gap there for him as well, so stabilized for the minute. Still 35 seconds left in this one. Jimka trying to see if he can take over CT spawn Flusher in a very odd angle. Who could have seen that coming? I'd be very angry.
That is a very dirty, very typical Flusher angle. He's going to be upset about that one. Lena coming out of these apartments trying to duel with JW. Flusher over-aggressive, but a leg shot for Waterfalls. That's equally frustrating. And now Felina's just got to fall away. 8 seconds left on the clock. Nice hold from Fnatic. It was just barely, as you said, with JW, and unfortunately, as they come out of those balcony, JW had the wrong timing with utility out.
Oh, and they even lose that one, so
yeah, Exist paid for that kind of mistiming for JW, but able to hold on.
They do have a lot of money for this 15th round, so I guess losing the rifle absolutely makes no difference here, so yeah, the timing for JW is, I mean, that almost cost them everything.
Yep. Losing Pit would have been a disaster. 8-6. Fnatic got to fight through one other full buy just to get to 9. Winstrike was able to build up a lot of cash in that win streak, and Fnatic, this is one of the rare times we've seen them with a full investment of everything. Everyone has kits, everyone's got utility, they've got the AWP.
Oh, Jimka actually challenging the top banana there. Good return kill, but is it going to be worth it for Fnatic here? Losing Flusher, big problem. You can see them already rotating, breaking on over. They know they have to reinforce this bomb site a little bit. That's incredibly aggressive and nice kill.
They have to reinforce it, not necessarily because Crims is alone, but because he has no utility. At this point, I think if there's some quiet in Banana for a while, this is one of those scenarios where you get Draken posted up, maybe on the half wall, maybe wherever he feels comfortable, and you have Crims rotate back towards the A bomb site. They're just going to play deeper in the site. But again, if you leave Crims here, he's got no smoke, he's got no Molotov. So you're putting a lot of faith in him to be able to just outduel and win in Winstrike. 50 seconds and they just get the bomb back towards T-spawn. They've had so many rounds where the clock became their enemy. They don't want to do it here on this last one.
Nope. Twice is enough. Don't need a third surprise here. JW very close, alone. I mean, we saw some of the other teams playing Inferno. They would retake top mid with 3 or 4 people, but walking through the smoke, oh, he's just hiding inside of this is so crazy. He does get 1 kill, but traded immediately, and leaving Exist alone at the bomb site. Again, 23 seconds here.
He's not even in the bomb site. That's the crazy thing. Exists. He can't actually defend anything. He's got to move forward, but he's going to fall back. They're going to have to trust and play for this retake, but Crims is so far away. Winstrike getting basically a free avenue into this bomb site. A little bit of damage, but they're going to be so happy with that.
Yeah, this definitely seems like a big misread for the Fnatic team. Bomb goes down. Excellent kill for Drake, and that's so important for Waterfalls. Or the kill on Waterfalls, at least. Quick and Valina, 2-on-3, and still a chance for the Swedish team to get that 9th round on the board after a couple of mistakes in this round. A little bit of damage output. Quick has got a great angle. Oh, and almost misses up the timing there a little bit, but now he's fighting and doing all the damage he needed to. That grenade, is it going to catch Draken? Not quite. Still a 2-on-2, and this is looking good. The Molotov on him, though, he's going to go down. Valina, the last one left, and he's being attacked from 2 angles. Does get the one. Oh my god, the follow-up. That's beautiful. Valina getting the last one. Incredible flicking. 5 health left, 7-8. And Winstrike going to end up having a great first half. I'm really impressed.
I don't know what I am yet. I'm a little bit shell-shocked at the moment. Not the Fnatic I expected to come out. I expected them to be way stronger holding on to some of these rounds, but yes.
Moses, you assisted in their downfall. All the Fnatic fans are going to be tweeting at you.
Apparently. Do you think that is going to take my jersey away?
Yeah, I mean, it should, right? Maybe they could. Maybe you could get one, but it says Trader on the back.
What's that? What's that meme of like the kid's head like rotating and flying through space? Why does it look like Winstrike have like their jersey is that meme?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody could with Photoshop skills could help us out. So, round number 16, second half coming up here. Valina with a classic jump to just look into second. They actually go and check all the way out. They don't even just jump high, yeah.
Oh. It's a reset of the round.
Fair play.
All right.
Guess we...
Jump the gun, perhaps?
Yeah, maybe we did. I don't know. Bit of time to talk things through. See if you could come up with anything really cool for the pistol round. I'm so confused about... I feel like Fnatic... Because the problem they were having yesterday was just even getting kills on the board, right?
Yeah.
They were looking very, very slow. I feel like they've been sort of doing a better job now, but they're making some rudimentary mistakes that you don't really want to see out of them.
It feels like a lack of confidence. I'm not going to lie to you. When I see some of those rotations and some of those kinds of plays, is just not feeling super comfortable with kind of the course of action, or that they know what's coming next. They feel like they don't have a good read of not only their opponents but of what their teammates are going to do. So something curious going on at the moment that means that these guys are not all on the same page, in my mind. 8-7, a very narrow lead, and I don't know if that was enough. Nope, the headsets are coming on. Oh, they're going back on.
Just bait it out a little bit.
Yeah.
But
typical Draken.
Yeah, gotta be careful with that. Don't want the headsets to come off.
Hand warmer.
Also important. Oh, we do have one. They're sorting it out, Moses. They're getting back into it.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about the platypi? Is this the moment where you choose to give us the tidbit of information?
Do we have the time for it?
I don't know.
Maybe we do.
How long do you need, Anders?
A little bit of time. We get like an hour or so, I think, we'll probably do it.
I don't think you're going to get... I don't think we're going to get an hour out of it.
I'll tell you what, though. The first time that the Western world came into contact with them, because obviously they live in Australia and stuff like that.
Standard.
The British Museum of like Natural History or something, they thought it was a joke. They thought it was somebody that had stitched different animals together as like a prank. They didn't even believe it was a real animal.
It's got the bill of a duck or something like that.
Yeah, and it's got like
a tail of like a otter.
Yeah, and you know
it's got like clawed feet.
Yeah, and you know that bill is the really cool part of it.
Okay.
They eat shrimp, Moses, freshwater shrimp. They live in rivers, and when they hunt for the shrimp, they close their eyes, so they can't see anything.
So playing with a handicap.
playing with a handicap. And here's how they catch the shrimp anyway. This is the cool part. This is the part you'll love.
Tell me they have a frog tongue.
No, their bill has 3 different kinds of receptors. One that detects electricity, one that detects mechanical movement, and one that detects both. And when the shrimp makes a movement, their muscles release electricity, and the bill will pick up the electricity. It'll then measure the lag between the electric input and the wave of the actual movement, and it makes a map in its mind about where the shrimp is based on those 2 informations. It's incredibly cool. It's like a bat, except for with sound, it uses
movement and electricity.
Movement and electricity. That's how cool the platypus is. So never, ever make fun of them again, Moses. They're incredible.
When did you hear me make fun of the platypus?
I could sense a sort of slight condescension in your voice. I'm very nervous about these things.
No, because every time I think of a platypus... Well, I did see a platypus when I was in Australia. I went to the zoo. They have a couple there. So they are pretty cool. I have a video of it on my phone.
Do you know the males have sort of needles on their back legs, or they can stab you, and it's incredibly painful. And it can't be helped with pain medicine either.
So there's like some kind of a venom or a poison or something?
Yeah, it works directly on the pain receptors, so no matter how much morphine you get, it's just not going to make any difference.
Even morphine is useless against
it?
Wow.
It makes no difference.
That's
so
wild.
Just a very cool animal. Now you guys know. I know you tune in to hear this, and you got your money's worth.
Tuning into fnatic and Winstrike, and you've got platypi. We do need to figure out if it's platypus or platypi.
Yeah, somebody's going to have to help us out.
Every time I think of that animal, I think of the opening of the movie Dogma.
That is a good movie.
Because he has that whole paragraph about the platypi.
Yeah.
Because the movie's about God, obviously, and he talks about the platypi as like the joke of God, since it's just a weird animal.
Hey, it is not a joke. It's incredible.
Well, I know, as I've learned now. I'm sure Kevin Smith has learned since then.
I know it from reading a book by Richard Dawkins called The Ancestor's Tale, which is an incredible book. I think his best book, actually. So
cool.
Maybe that and Selfish Gene, but I read that too. It's good.
Okay.
Definitely people should check all that stuff out. In the break, maybe. You could probably get it on an audiobook somewhere. It's a good time.
Just to update the viewers, there is some the technical issue is nothing wrong with the game client, nothing wrong with the PCs. It's that there are other things going on in the venue at the moment, and there is some noise that is leaking into the players that they complain about at halftime. I know last week they had a couple weddings.
They had an Indian wedding going on.
An Indian wedding, and they had like a whole DJ set or something wild.
Yeah, I was a little bit jealous because I usually think of weddings as being kind of slightly dull affairs, but this sounded incredible. It sounded like they were having a great time. So
yeah, I feel like that would be a fun wedding to go to. I think we should have crashed that.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
A stranger's wedding?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the entire point of crashing a wedding, right?
Sure. I mean,
haven't you ever seen the movie?
I think I probably have. I think I erased it from my memory, but there's only so much. I need to make room for facts about
platypus facts.
Octopi too. Yeah, it's that kind of stuff. That keeps me up at night.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it would. A animal with a claw that works directly on the pain receptors that morphine can't help would certainly creep me out.
Yeah, don't want to pick them up.
Are they aggressive creatures?
I really doubt it. I don't know for sure,
they
but
don't seem like an aggressive animal.
I feel like they are. I feel like the aggressive animals in Australia are going to be, what are they called? The Tasmanian devils. I guess they're from Tasmania, but still. Those are very. Have you seen those?
Yes, we did see one.
Aggressive.
We did see one. I have some cool pictures of one like yawning, but it looks like it's about to kill you. So that's pretty sweet.
It's quite funny. How do they just evolve to be that angry all of the time? Nobody knows.
I don't think they're actually angry though. I think they just look that way.
You sure?
No, I'm not. I'm not sure.
We'll get Chad to help us out at some point. I'm sure he must know.
They have a couple super cute animals down in Australia as well. Like I know they're known for all like the poisonous spiders and snakes and sharks and everything and the jellyfish and stuff. But I think it's called like a kokwa, something like that.
I haven't been there ever.
Yeah.
So I should go.
You should go. Shoeys are great.
I've seen Chad do one of those on video, I believe. So you know, maybe when we move it to the Wembley Stadium, we could get some of that going.
Get some shoeys on the board.
Yeah, even though we're in the UK.
Looks like they're sitting up, getting some massages, some shoulder rubs, some let's go boys. Here we are. So I think we might be underway pretty soon, as it would look, just from, I have the same information all of you have. fnatic, on the other hand.
See Crim's putting in his in-ears. It's looking promising. You can feel it coming. Can't be doing that much longer. But obviously, it is kind of important to have just a bit of quiet, even with the headsets on, right? You don't want to...
What do you think Krim said? They had the conversation yesterday that Fnatic has like no hype man. Krim's just looked down the line and said something. If you had to narrate.
I feel
like he said, you know, boys, let's wreck that ass.
Something like that. I do feel like because they're Swedish, like the kind of humor that's going to be going on is going to be like a little bit underplayed.
Okay.
I do feel like the lack of a hype man can just be explained by the fact that they're Swedish and that, you know, a little bit laid back.
The crazy thing is, like, they've never needed it before, so it didn't seem like they were really missing anything, right?
Well, you said you had a throwaway comment, I think yesterday, where you sort of said, well, the thing that would maybe motivate them in the past that they were, you know, public enemy #1, right?
Yeah.
And like I actually think that does make a certain amount of sense, right? Like if everybody hates you, maybe you do have that feeling that, you know what, we're going to prove them all wrong, and that's going to be the thing that we're fighting for.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe the public after a while has kind of softened up a little bit to them. I mean, it was a ridiculous reason why they hated them anyway. But
well, there were like 8 reasons, right? They were mostly like 7 of them at the very least. Were ridiculous.
I was going to say, because I remember, I mean, I think especially the thing that really upset me was like the whole handshaking thing that lasted for like years. And I remember at one point I actually talked to Forrest and Get Right, which obviously were the victims of not having their hands shook. This is kind of ridiculous. But I remember I talked to them and they just said, listen, I mean, like, we didn't even think about it. Like 2 months later, it was like, you know, the community would just hold on to.
Well, and like they apologized like immediately afterwards, and they were like, yeah, we don't really care about that anymore.
It's a little bit out of control.
It did get a little bit weird, but so is this game as we go live into the second half. 5 seconds left into the pistol round, and this is Fnatic gonna have to win 8 on the T side, which is kind of crazy to think about. If they want to be able to take this map, they're gonna have to really have economic control if they don't want to go to overtime.
Jimko peeking in, that's an instantaneous headshot. Draken, I mean, he just didn't even see what touched him. Quick now on the bomb site, he does have a backup. Waterfalls is inside of the bomb site waiting, so they still have 2 people here. But Fnatic, they're going to put up that smoke, and that's usually a signal that you've committed to it, especially in a pistol. Shot down to 13, and they're trying to hunt him down. Waterfalls, he was, I think, trying to buy a bit of time, hoping that they weren't going to check it, but they did. And that just might be the round here. 3 on 4, very, very hard to retake. I'd be shocked if Winstrike could get back in this round.
Especially because Krims is going to be far back. He's got that P250 as well. They've got to travel a long way. There's the first kill. Flusha goes for the peek, and that's actually a pretty critical spot because JW, he's out in the open. He's only got that very small pillar, and all of a sudden they're doing it, Anders. They're coming back into this, and Exist has to hold on. Krims now turned around. Great kill for Exist, and a follow-up. The low HP right at the end. Boomich needed to do something. But Fnatic gave them the opportunity to get back into that round, and they cannot do that throughout this half.
Yeah, absolutely they did. I could have got horribly wrong. They win the pistol round on the second half, and that should give them some room to work with. Although, look at Jimka. He's picked up already the UMP. There's a Max 7 there as well. They are heavily armed.
Yeah, they really are for a second round. They want to fight for it. Only Waterfall is staying back. The Alper wants to keep as much money in the bank. If you go to the wrong spot, if you run into that shotgun at close range and holes perhaps, you can be in for a very rough time. Quick dodges most of that damage. Molotov gonna force him away. Yeah, shotgun in Boiler on Valina. Jimka has that UMP. Nice nade, quick should eat a lot of damage on that one. That's beautiful.
Yeah, free damage. Almost no risk.
They still haven't used a smoke, though, this CT side. They've got 2 here at the B bomb site, and they're holding on to it, and that's pretty crazy. It's not bad. For all this pressure and all the presence, and even the smoke towards CT, haven't responded with anything.
I mean, if you do this, you kind of know you have to put down one of them at like 40 seconds, and then hope that they're waiting out on banana, and then when it fades, you put down the second one, and then they're in trouble, right? But it has to be that late almost for it to make sense. Quick has used his now, so... Might be a mistiming. I think no matter what, almost they can wait it out. Fnatic.
No, I mean it was a fine timing because look, I mean Fnatic called everyone back, so they actually have those 4 players stuck behind the smoke. That's a beautiful kill from JW. That's going to make things really difficult because Quick doesn't know which side he wants to go on. Here's that UMP though, close up inside the smoke. Boomich with a 1 kill. That's JW aggressively attacking the A bomb site. He was way deep in, wasn't even trying to circle around this bomb site. Spam coming through, 30 seconds, jumping through. There's the CZ. Plenty of bullets left, but they've got to get in here. Rotation is on the way, and Fnatic, if they want to go, it has to be now. And they do take him out. It was costly. This nade could do something, but never mind. Krims with a side swipe.
Again, that was looking maybe more hesitant than we're used to out of Fnatic. It just sort of, you could see them stepping back and forth inside of the smoke there. They obviously couldn't know it was just one person with a CC on the other side, and they were probably scared that it was going to be, you know, 2 or 3 or whatever it may have been.
Yep.
So still, they make it work. They only lose 2. It's just fine. 10-7 here, and they cannot buy on the Winstrike side yet.
That's the start they needed as well.
Yeah.
That investment from Winstrike, a heavy investment in the second round. So outside of the AWP, everyone else is going to have their M4s, but are going to be missing some utility. So if you're Fnatic and you realize you need to have an economic advantage once the guns come out, that's exactly what you want. You want to overcome that obstacle early on so that you can do the harsh reset in round 4 when the rifles do come out. A lot of chit-chat going on the Winstrike side as they take a tactical timeout. It's come to an end.
Funny time to take a tactical timeout when you can't buy anything. I mean, you could obviously prepare for the upcoming round if you really wanted to, but
they didn't take one in the first half, though, right? So they've got one to burn. I feel you have 4 timeouts in one half.
Yeah,
use one.
Valina's got a Zeus. Moses, we still haven't seen the idea of the run boost Zeus, which is a dream of mine. I might have to make a video about that.
That would be cool. The problem is you need to know exactly where someone is to do it properly, don't you?
Yeah. There are some obstacles, Moses, if you want to be critical.
It's not a perfect idea.
Always with the negativity.
I still think, who was it that did that jumping one? Was that at Stockholm? That was so cool.
Yeah.
Was that Big that did that?
That was Crystal, wasn't it?
Oh, Crystal.
I want to say.
That was maybe the coolest entry kill you'll ever see in Counter-Strike.
Yeah. Really cool.
Oh, yes! There we are.
There's the rare. Sounds like someone stepped on a seagull, doesn't it? What is happening?
Well, the bomb is back in T-spawn.
Oh no! Why is it?
Here's a wild thing. In a cost-cutting decision from the Fnatic Corp, exists only as a Glock.
Yeah, and there's an AK picked up now on Valina. I mean, this is very odd. Someone's gonna have to get that bomb. Good hiding in the corner, and actually Exist does get the kill. So somehow they make this work anyway. It's a very messy round, but we got the return of the seagull. It's not bad.
I still don't know what that sound is supposed to be.
No, I feel like if you got tasered, you'd make almost no sound, right? Because you'd just be
muzzle seize up.
You'd just be cramping.
But that
right?
wouldn't be fun.
No, you don't want to make it too realistic either, do you? So maybe it makes sense. I don't want them to change
Maybe
it.
that should be the, if we ever get caster voice packs, it's nothing except for each of us imitating the Zeus sound. And you just randomly get someone screaming.
Listen, Moses, if we do that, we'll Zeus you and record it, and then we'll. I think that's a really good idea, Moses.
So, I don't want to go into detail of this, but I've played that game in college already. It's not as fun as you'd think.
That's why we're doing it.
Waterfalls in middle.
3 of them up in apartments really early on. They might just want to jump on this. This could be just a pure timing hit, and actually, one good flashbang could ruin this whole round for Winstrike. Let's see how it works out. Boomich already going down. That is a big opening. They're down in the pit as well. Valina with a good refrag on Exist. But the bomb is down there, and look at where JW is holding. So far from the rest of the team. That can be kind of hard to read.
I think Fnatic have to be so confused about what kind of a defense exactly Winstrike is running, and I think they might want to save. Oh, that op's going to go down on the floor. Yeah, this has to be a save from Winstrike. There's no chance of them getting back into it. No kits, there's smoke and flashbang, but what can you really do? Flush is going to find one more. They would love to save that op. It's just not going to happen.
Covering it. JW. That's great individual play, right? So a position that's so forward compared to the rest of the Fnatic team that they just aren't ready for it.
Winstrike was so confused. Even when that hit came in from Fnatic, they got the 3 players out of those halls. Winstrike still had no concept of what was occurring. They were actually trying to rotate Winstrike, that 3rd defender, over towards the B bomb site. And unfortunately, Winstrike has played directly into their hands. Not only losing this round, but all 3 of those players who could have saved, even maybe the op if they wanted to be bold with the save call and really early on, but they all went for it from different locations, and they all just fell one by one. And that's exactly what Fnatic wants, take all the money away. And now the avenue's open for Fnatic to take this pretty cleanly in the second half. Not to, you know, using my powers for evil again, but...
Moses, if they end up winning this round, Winstrike, we're just going to mute the microphone on your end, and we'll see if we can get a regular game out of it after that. They do have some upgraded pistols and some armor being picked up, and a bunch of smokes as well. Winstrike must be feeling the pressure by now. Just losing that pistol. They are going to get the kill on JW, and they don't even want to stick around to try and steal the AK away. And look at who's in the middle. Waterfalls trying to make his model small as possible, not showing the tip of that gun. Oh, assist. This is so dangerous. Going to be back around the corner. Crims is ready for it.
Oh, Waterfalls is going to be so frustrated. Here are the reload and the footsteps, and he wanted the backstab exist, and Crims just pops up.
That's not a bad grenade at all. He got boosted into the grenade. With friends like this, Moses, you don't really need enemies, do you?
There's a lot of friends here at this bomb site. And this is going to be a nice play date. Here we go. Flusha coming in first with that UMP. Hasn't spotted anyone. 2 players in the back corners not exposing themselves. Smoke used. There goes Quick. Very much checking everything Fnatic. They know the danger and they don't want to drop the ball. There's that boost coming to play, but it's a 2-on-3.
Yeah, the bomb will be going down, and they tried to see if they could maybe surprise them just at the end. Not going to happen. 13-7, and Winstrike investing a bit into that round, so still going to be able to buy now. And this is, I mean, we're getting close to this being their last chance, right? At 13-7, they need to start winning rounds here.
They need to win one clean as well. Even if they win this and just 1 or 2 players survive, Fnatic's still going to have their backs against the ropes. Tactical timeout for Fnatic as they talk things over.
6-round gap. And Fnatic having great beginnings to these both these halves, right?
Yeah, 4-0 in the first half, 5-0 in the second one. Winstrike still being blanked on their defensive side. They have been in that monetary nightmare. Crims 17 kills, Flusha with 18. On the side, it's still Boomich with 15, and so is Valina, actually. But who's going to get them on the board on this defensive side? Who's going to make the play? Now you don't have Flush on a UMP. You have all AKs and that AWP on Draken.
Waterfall's running to the middle with the AWP. Does walk up pretty far, but the flashbang is going to make him take a step back. Draken standing on top of the fire, and that could have almost cost him his life. Now he's probably a little bit worried. He still picks up the kill on Jimker, and
fair play.
Yeah, jumped up, does spot it out. That does not work out, but Boomich is going to be going down on the other side.
Only Simple hits that jumping shot. There's Waterfalls, misses it. There's still 2 players in here, though, and I don't think they're going to be ready for this. They might have heard Quick dropping. Exist is completely blind, coming through the smoke. There goes the AWP. The bomb is down inside the smoke. No ammo, though, and Crims was waiting for that. Ready for it the whole time. Smokes up in the choke points, and Crims. Valina has to be very careful while he rounds the corner. It won't even matter. Immediate headshot. What a kill from Draken. That, standing in the flames, blind, nades coming everywhere, and you're really just, it is one of those things where you just trust your life to God and just hope someone walks into the crosshair and he gets it.
Yeah, really, really well done.
That's a simple shot, obviously, if there's no utility in front of you. The utility makes it so difficult to stay focused.
Yeah, you could very easily panic and just, I mean, even just seeing what's going on there could be a little bit tricky. Oh, the
fancy footwork?
Yeah, not sure it makes a difference. Triple grenade. A lot of money for maybe not that much of a return. JW will be winning that fight. That could have gone badly. Never know when people are stumbling down the stairs.
Crims just patient. That aggression towards JW is a sign that maybe they want to put some emphasis here. And this is more like the Fnatic we know. Look at Flusha starting to just challenge. Confident to just walk in slowly and see what he finds. Crims and JW do need to get that bomb and start coming back, and Flusha definitely saw that. He's peering around the edge of the smoke. That's good. Oh my god, he lost that somehow. Nicely done from Jimko. Waterfalls, he's going to be able to cut them off. Crims, though, waiting. He's so surrounded, and he has the bomb. You're trusting Crims to do a lot, and he's managing it well, waiting for the follow-up peek and just taking Valina out at the legs.
Think of how awkward that could have got right there if he had somehow given up the bomb and they could have got the AK as well. They make it out, and that will be round number 15 here for Fnatic. Quick has got an AK-47, and it's much better for him to back it out and just try and keep it alive here. So Winstrike, I mean, they did such a great job keeping it alive and getting back in and even having a good first half, and the second half has been nothing like that.
No, which is wild. Fnatic has been on point here. Maybe whatever Crims did end up saying is They seem to be more willing to take fights in this half than they were previously. Way more comfortable with what they're doing across the map.
Some Swedish magic being some old scrolls being read out, Moses.
I don't think Nip would have given them the magic. I don't think they would give them the secret.
No. I don't know. Maybe they've had to make their own, Moses. Their own kind of.
I think, you know, they probably just said something like, you know, these guys didn't shake our hands back in 2013. We're not letting them have any of the magic.
Yeah. Holding on to that grudge. Double AWP as a potential solution for Winstrike, and why not? I mean, they could definitely connect with some of those. Right now, top fragging, well, they're all pretty much close to each other on the Winstrike side, actually. Maybe thought someone was doing a bit more. Flusher at 19 kills and Crims at 21, so that certainly has to feel pretty good if you're a Fnatic fan. Return grenade there. Oh, that does a lot of damage.
Exchange him, though. Quick equally eats a nade pretty well. Hall stack, and there's Crims spamming through the follow-up from JW. Waterfall's waiting for that. So finally, a good opening in a round for Winstrike. You have a lot of players on Fnatic chip down. Crims and Flusha even exist a little bit, and you've got one kill.
Waterfalls. I'd say that's very risky. Peeking around the corner. The Molotov actually going to force him out. Draken gets a kill on Boomic, but good job. Almost walks back into the fire, and now he's just running into Boiler. I mean, he has to go somewhere, right? So I guess this is all fair play. It's still a 3-on-3 as Quick goes down. The bomb right in front, and Flusher. Oh, the no-scope. How does that not connect? Now Valina down here, and he drops the Crims. I don't know how Crims is doing all of this. This is the kind of play, the kind of game that makes Crims such a dangerous player. It's great to see him back at this level. Absolutely one of the stars of the Counter-Strike scene. And Jimka now to try and hold on to the map. 1 versus 3. He's going to get the one, jumping out down to 36. And yeah, might as well swap out for the AK-47. The bomb is down, and he has to do something impossible here. Smoke doesn't even block anyone off, and they're both waiting for him. Actually surprised he even is still alive, and finally Draken will take him down 16-7 as Fnatic make their way past Winstrike. But I don't know.
Easiest prediction in my life.
Yeah, Moses?
Yeah, never had a doubt.
You did your best to sabotage all of that, and we won't forget.
That first half did get a little bit dicey for Fnatic, but good to see them show up on the T side. Interesting seeing Crims. Like, we know he's been playing great for Fnatic recently, and obviously this year he's been phenomenal, one of the best players that we've seen in the pro scene. But to see him like being like a lot of the initiator at times on this T side was pretty intriguing, because he is known to be more of a passive player. His reputation was built as being like a passive defensive player on the defensive side, especially on the CT side. But really cool to see him take some initiative on the offense.
Absolutely. Good job overall. Some questionable rounds. Hopefully they can patch some of that up on the Fnatic side.
They'll have to talk about the CT side, I think.
Yeah, I mean, those kind of mistakes, you start making those against some of the heavier competition here. I mean, not that Winstrike were really, I think they weren't really underperforming here. I actually think they had some pretty cool rounds.
They did do well, yeah.
But you can't do that later on.
No, you can't, and especially considering, I mean, they could have gone 0-2 in that matchup, but Fnatic now 1-1. You're going to get a really tough match in this next one. We know that draw down at the 0-1 stage. You know, there's going to be some really powerful 1-on-1 teams coming out of that one. And as this major has shown, these two stages, everyone's coming to this prepared, especially for the BO1s.
Yeah, absolutely. We do have Parla ready with the Fnatic team, so please, Parla, take it away for us.
Thank you very much, Anders. I'll try to speak to whoever is comfortable doing it. Richard, you're right in front of me, so that works. Directly after that win, there wasn't too much of a celebration from you guys. What was going on?
I mean, on paper, we should beat them. We have to go with 3 wins. So when we get 3 wins, we're going to celebrate, I guess.
Okay, and so against Winstrike then, that first half, do you think it could have potentially have gone better?
Yeah, of course. We lost, I think, 2 force buys against them on A. We kind of screwed up with our setups, and yeah, I think that's why it got a bit close.
All right, and now let's go back to yesterday against Complexity. What was the thought process when you were playing against them? What was the strategy, and what went wrong?
I think we played too passive. We were afraid to take duels. We were afraid to take initiative. They played really aggressive. I think they played a great Inferno game. When we took mid, they tried to retake it, and we just lost the duels, and we rotated very bad. I think that's what happened.
And do you think they maybe benefited from being slightly warm from last week and coming off that high at last week's stage of the major?
Yeah, possibly, but I don't think Complexity is a team that you should underestimate. They have really good individuals and also a good leader in Stanislav, so they just played a good game, in my opinion.
Awesome, thank you very much, Richard Draken. I'll have a few words with you, if that's okay. I'll steal you away from Andreas. Good to see you firstly, sir. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. Few words. Coming out of yesterday, what was the game plan going into today? How did you readjust the team?
I don't know. We had the same game plan as we did before. I think just yesterday, as Richard said, I think we played too aggressive when we shouldn't have played aggressive, and then we were too afraid when we should have taken duels and get ground on the map, you know, so yeah.
And what can you tell me about the roster currently? You're all fantastic players, all with different ranges of experience. Where can this roster go at this major?
I think we can go far. We're still, you know, figuring things out, but yeah, I think we just need to, you know, establish the grounds and then get something so we're more, you know, not so consistent and etc. Yeah.
And so potentially you're finding that ground after that Winstrike win?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, Winstrike, I don't want to say they're bad, but I don't think they should be here, right? But they still can shoot, so you know, yeah.
They sure can shoot, you know. Thank you so much, Drake. Would you like to say anything to your fans and the Fnatic fans out there? No, we'll leave it at that. Richard, would you like to say anything?
Thanks to all the fans who's cheering for us. I know we had a bad day yesterday, but we can only improve from here.
All right, there we go. Let's head back to Alex and the guys on the desk.
Interesting. A lot to learn from the interview there. And Fnatic, they still don't seem satisfied. It seems like their hunger is only starting to be sated as they still can't quite find the results they're looking for. Tested on the first half here versus Winstrike, an 8-7 half. Finding their feet, though, when they switch to the aggress, when they switch to that T-side. Gentlemen, I'm joined by Thread, of course, and Sean Gares to talk about it. Thread, that was... I mean, it wasn't the most beautiful game of Counter-Strike we've ever seen.
No, I think the city side, as Richard said, was very sloppy from Fnatic. They lost 2 force buys. It seemed like they didn't have any clue on their rotations. And just a very sloppy game for both teams, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, Sean, I imagine you echoed that sentiment.
Yeah, it was definitely a sloppy game. I thought Winstrike actually played super well in that first half, and they probably could have walked away with more rounds than they ended up with. But once Fnatic got rolling, you know, on their T side, it was a pretty one-sided game at that point.
Yeah, I mean, they did manage to make a dent in that second half. Winstrike kind of falling off, and Draken making quite the statement against his opponent, suggesting he doesn't think they belong here. It's big words, and yet they back it up at least with the win. As we do see a little look at that scoreboard, you can see some of the candidates we mentioned. In fact, Flusher, Crims at the top of the scoreboard. In fact, Crims was in our head-to-head. Let's not forget that as well. We put him up against the walls and up against none other than Boomich, who has had quite the quiet affair, just in the middle of the pack, and Winstrike find themselves 0-2 after doing such a damaging and destructive run through the group stages of the last major. Now struggling to really post any results. Their first result, of course, versus Liquid, now Fnatic. They're not going to get a particularly easier opponent tomorrow.
No, not at all, knowing, you know, who's lost so far. Yeah. So this was probably the easiest one they're going to get. But yeah, they did a lot of things well. I'm not going to lie, they did a lot of things well, but they were very hesitant throughout a lot of the rounds. And, I mean, their inexperience definitely showed right there. They had 10 opening picks that game, actually, versus Fnatic's 13. So they had quite a few rounds where they had the man advantage to start. It's just they couldn't close those rounds out.
Now, that's interesting. So they had 10 opening rounds, and they managed to walk away with just 7. So there's clearly some faults and footfalls here from Winstrike. We'll explore it further. I want to bring up the head-to-head. We mentioned it earlier. Crims was up against Boomich. And Crims, I mean, I think he kind of bailed Fnatic out in some instances during this game threat.
But I still think he needs to play way better if they want to have a chance against the other teams here. I think they played at the same level they did yesterday. I'm still not impressed by them, and I'm really rooting for the Swedish teams. But if they want to make it three wins, which I think is very unlikely at this point, they have to step it up, both him and Flusher.
Yeah, we'll have to see more from the stars of Fnatic. They are a star-studded roster. We just want to see that unlocked as we have time and time again on the big stage. They won't get to the big stage if they don't pick up those 3 wins that Threat is alluding to. And I want to talk to you, Sean. Yeah. You've selected a demo, a clip. What's the title of this bad boy?
Yeah, it was basically, I named it Indecisiveness because it basically showed, you know, what cost Winstrike several rounds. They lost a couple rounds due to weird things like this. So this was actually a round where Waterfalls actually got an opening pick in Banana. He picks off Draken to start the round, which is what we're going to see.
So that's the opening pick you were talking about.
Yeah, and then after this, they actually do an excellent job. They get Banana control. They also are getting mid control simultaneously right now as they're getting Banana control. They're faking B with these 2 players. One guy commits to it. They draw the rotate from Fnatic. So there's only 4 players left, but 3 are at the B bomb site right now. They're going to walk 3 players out of the halls, which isn't a bad idea, but you have to be explosive and you have to trade when you do things like this. Maybe 1 flash coming from mid, 1 off the chimney halls would have been great. But they let JW get that 1 kill, and it takes them over 15 seconds until they then come out of the halls. There's now 3 players of Fnatic at the A bomb site, and Flusha kills the bomb planner before the round ends. Everything crumbles, and they end up losing this round due to time.
Oh gosh, that was hard to watch from that camera perspective. Shout out.
Yeah, so they did a lot of good things that round actually. Like, everything was good other than the trade kills out halls, and I don't know why they didn't do it.
Yeah, I was just gonna say they make a proper default. They take Banana control. They actually have mid control as well. They have the entry kill, and if you're in an advantageous position, you just want to play a default game. You want to stack up the bodies and push at the same time. Instead, they do this risky play, which you can kind of expect if you're down 1 or 2 players. You can kind of gamble, okay, maybe they're having a 3 setup in mid, maybe we can just walk out apps. But they do it in an advantageous position, which is really weird.
Yeah, from banana control, bracket control to the brackets and the banana skins to come. There are so many scary games for teams coming into the ring today at the Legend stage. It's day 2 here live from London. Up next, we get Vega versus Astralis, but do glance your eyes around if you're unfamiliar or if you haven't been staying up to date. So many absurd games, especially in that 0-1. The draw definitely blew a whole lot of teams' minds. We get to see none other than Na'Vi, FaZe, Mouse, MIBR. We get in the winners category, NIP Team Liquid and Complexity versus G2. I'm looking forward to those games as well. There is so much epic Counter-Strike coming up, and indeed after the break it does continue. Talking of Epic, epics.gg are one of our sponsors that you can check out. You can go ahead and trade and collect your favorite CSGO stars. You can do it on your phone as well, on iOS and Google Play. We're taking a break, and we come back. Astralis could have their toughest test yet, and they have come through the challenger stage, but it's Vega Squadron who stand in their way, and Vega keep picking up those W's. Will Astralis stop them? We'll find out after our break. We'll be right back.
I've been there since the beginning. Every map, every flag. With knowledge comes power, and power is to be wielded wisely. Which is why, as the expert, I bet with Betway for the love of the game.